in Ghana and beyond. Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio, UK, Abrochimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boss sound in the moon at the dia and you may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame, ya beat me abababua. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Ya wa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi ane se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu de angaza.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. It's a beautiful sunny Tuesday morning, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. And as you know, this is the first segment, and the first segment consists of Miss Debbie's Girl, and then the news headline review. But this morning, let's look at some newspaper headline and let's see what is going on in the country as it stands now in the world of news. So on the newspaper front page of Daily Guide, give me power, I will give you jobs. And this is coming from Kennedy Ejapon, who is running for the NPP presidential. Minority TUC reject utility tariff hikes. Court dismisses Wuntumi's further documents request. Ministry probes SP assassination claims, and 5 arrested for robbery. Moving on to Daily Graphic. Portable lab unveiled for basic schools. STEM box to break barriers in science education. Interior Minister orders probe into SP assassination claim. Second Carmen rocks the African Festival December 28th to 30th. Manual's royalty surge across all sub-sectors. The Chronicle. Naimo's Galamsey fight suffers a major setbacks. Naimo's fight suffers major setbacks. The National Enquirer. Kufuor's tough talk, NDC react. Kufuor's tough talk, NDC react. Agric Minister urges farmers to lead agric transformation. Agric Minister urges farmers to lead agric transformation. Fishery Ministry celebrates achievements, and that is coming from the front page of the National Enquirer newspaper. Moving on to the New Republic newspaper. On the front page of it, ghost contractor vanishes with $29 billion. Ghost contractor vanishes with $29 million. Baumia's Zongo disconnect deepens post-election autopsy. Naimos escalate anti-Galamsey offences. The Ghanaian Times. I am committed to building better Ghana. President Mahama reflects on December 7, 2024 post. I am committed to building better Ghana. President Mahama reflects on December 7, 2024 post. VIB calls on African leaders to strengthen health systems. VIB calls on African leaders to strengthen health system. Interior Minister orders probe into alleged assassination attempt on ASP, and that is coming from the front page of the Ghanaian Times. The Daily Searchlight. Challenge Kisi Ejabane to produce the vehicle. Former OSP employee says amid suggestions of law breaking by special prosecutor. The Overseer. Finance Minister charges Osu Tax Office staff to boost revenue, pledges support and incentives, and that is coming from the front page of the Overseer newspaper. Moving on to Daybreak. Finance Minister tax MDAs to reduce audit infractions. Finance Minister tax MDAs to reduce audit infractions. Chiefs, influential figures hampering anti-Galamsey efforts, and this is coming from NIMOS. NSS soldiers in limbo. NSS soldiers in limbo, and that is coming from the front page of Daybreak newspaper. Moving on to Daily Post, and same thing, we have Interior Minister orders probe into alleged assassination attempt on special prosecutor. And then lastly, we have the Business Analyst. The front page of Business Analyst reads that T-bills oversubscribed as investor confidence rises, and Interior Minister probes into OSP. I think the OSP has been trending for quite some time now, if I'm not mistaken, since last month. And petitions has been sent to the president for his removal. And then again, Martin Kpebu made some accusations towards him, and now the Interior Minister has taken up the case to probe into it to find out if indeed there's some sort of like truth over there. Good morning, Ms. Debbie. Good morning. How are you doing?
The grace is sufficient.
Hope all is well.
Yeah.
Traffic? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Just for that.
Yeah. So, on the matter of the OSP, the Interior Minister has called for the probe into the
His
assassination that has been made by him. How did you feel about that when you saw that?
Well, he said he has been assassinated.
Yes.
And I think the well-being of every individual has to be the responsibility of the Interior Minister when it has to do with security.
Yes.
And so if you said you have been assassinated, it is in the best interest of the Interior Minister to probe into that, investigate and find out whether truly you've been assassinated. Mind you, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is a concern to the state. You are a body that investigates corruption and corruption-related cases. So if there should be an assassination on you or you've been assassinated, it means someone is pointing a bad finger towards your office. So that person needs to be apprehended. And then you can have your peace of mind to work. And so when I saw that, there was no kind of a ye within me, but then I felt like, well, yes, what the Interior Minister wants to do is the right thing. In case they are done with their findings and then it appears that the OSP is not telling the truth, that will be his own issue to deal with. Because I've seen instances where people are saying that the OSP is just putting up a fabrication. That is not real. Yes, because he feels like attention is now drawn on his office, and so he wants to shift the attention of the public from him, and that is why he claimed. But the assassination, as I have read, didn't happen this year. It happened during the previous administration. Yes, they said it happened somewhere last year.
So why didn't he report the issue when it happened?
That is the same question that came in mind. Why didn't maybe he reported and the then administration didn't pay so much attention to it? So maybe.
So is this the time to actually look into this issue?
You know,
when people are calling for his removal.
I can't really tell, but then I feel like he feels like a new government has come on board, and since a new government has come on board, he will glance through what has been done in the previous years. You know, we have cases in court that have been there since last year.
Yeah.
And then people have this kind of assurance that when there is a new government, their cases will be taken upon. So I feel like maybe that is the same way with the OSP. But in a way, because as it stands now, everybody has the notion that this man must go. And then bringing this up, what do you want people to think? What are you expecting? The only thing people will think is because you are trying to cover up your, excuse me to say, your mess. And that is why you are.
I don't think the OSP has really created a mess.
No, he hasn't created a mess in saying maybe causing a loss to the state or doing something else. But he has caused a mess in a way that you've not prosecuted anybody. And we have corrupt people in the system. So automatically the country in a way, in the mess, not say the country is destroyed, but we are being mixed up with bad nuts. You get it? We are being mixed up with bad nuts who are not supposed to be among us. So are you trying to tell me that for the past 8 years, there's not been a one single, like an ant that has stolen from the state and that person needs to be prosecuted? Is that what you're trying to tell me? So, hey, you should just relax. This one, but you know something, I've also had instances where people are also advising President Muhammadu to remove him because they see that as a trick from their opponent. Yes,
but it's not the opponent that is calling for the removal.
It is the NDC members themselves that are calling on
the
president to not to take the move because it's a trick, and I don't really know how it is a trick to this current administration though. But
I think the last time you said here that the biggest mistake this current administration made was not removing the OSP when they came into office.
Yes.
So then, how is that a trick if there have been evidence that
the person
his office is not performing and is not producing results? Then why don't you take the person out?
You need to take the person out, but you see, on your own will you can do that. But don't forget that we are being entangled by a law, by laws. So you might feel like taking the person out immediately, but the law is also stating that there are procedures you are supposed to go by in taking out that person. You cannot. So let me take, for instance, the CJ. The CJ. You know, it goes a time she was very furious because in her perception she thought that the government is not passing through the right procedures to take her off. Because according to the law, there are right procedures you're supposed to abide by before taking out a CJ.
But even that, we've spoken about that several times, and then
so OSP need here. I don't know how it's a trick or a trap for the NDC, but then I feel like it should go seriously. And as I've been saying, I'll continue to say that they did a very big mistake. They should have maintained that party and take out what was the name? Kisiye Jaben.
But Kisiye Jaben, I learned, is a very good lawyer.
You are a good lawyer, so why are we not seeing it? SNM, you can be good.
Or maybe he's overwhelmed with the office.
Hey, and they're bad. You can be good. If someone gives you an appointment, if someone gives you the nod to do something, it means the person believes in your capabilities. The person know you can do it. So when that opportunity is given to you, show it. Let people know that yes, this is what I can do. But when that office is given to you, and we are not seeing the benefit of you being a lawyer, that kind of quality of you being a good lawyer as people claim to be, then what is your use? Because you're supposed to show it out. Let people know that this is what I can do, and I'm doing it and doing it well. The kind of praise people are giving to this man is not easy. They are saying he's good, but we are not seeing it. So it could be that the
office is influenced or something. So when it happens like that, he's not able to play his role as expected.
For that, there is no doubt.
Yeah. Right. With that being said, let's dive into our major news items for this morning. Ghana's politicians must learn from regional coups, security analysts. A security analyst, Dr. Emmanuel Suwete, is cautioning Ghana's political leaders to take lessons from the recent wave of coups in West Africa. His comments follows reports of an attempted coup in Benin on December 7, 2025, where gunfire was heard near the president's residence and soldiers announced the suspension of the constitution before ECOWAS intervened. Dr. Suwete says the situation is the sub-region should remind Ghanaian politicians to stay connected to citizens and govern responsibly. He referenced earlier comments by former President John Dramani Mahama, who also urged leaders to pay attention to the rising public support for coup leaders in parts of the region. According to Dr. Emmanuel, political elites must understand that their safety and power rely heavily on the trust and well-being of the ordinary Ghanaian. He believes that over-reliance on state protection and a disconnect from citizens can breed resentment, which may show through protests or at the ballot box. He stressed that leaders must not only speak about accountability and service, but demonstrate it genuinely through action. So this is coming from security analyst Dr. Emmanuel Suwete, who is warning Ghana's political class to learn from recent coups in West Africa. He says leaders must remain connected to ordinary citizens and avoid creating conditions that fuel public anger. His comments follows an attempted coup in Benin, where ECOWAS intervened to restore order. So he cautioned that if leaders misuse state resources and distance themselves from the people, it could lead to resentment and instability. People will get angry, and then we'll be sitting in this country, and then we see that military rule has taken over. What do you think our Ghanaian politicians should actually learn out of this attempted coup in Benin?
A lot. One, they have to learn to listen to the people. Do as the people are saying, because don't forget that it is the people gave you that law to lead them, and so you do according to their will, not what you feel like. So you listen to the people, especially when there is unemployment and everyone is eager to get work to do. You know how hot you become, like instantly you feel like you are sick when you're looking for employment and you're not getting it. You living in the house, it's like you going to school for 4 years, and then after school you're not getting anything to do. You've become a burden on the parents, and sometimes you feel like your parents have wasted money taking care of you at the university, and then you're not getting any work to do. And then when these people come to pour out their grievances, And then you end up coming up to make claims that do not exist. So imagine you coming out to tell the people that you've created 2.6 million jobs. Now, if you created 2.6 million jobs, what is the population of Ghana? If Ghana is more than 2.6 million, then at least half of the population should be employed. Or more than half of the people should be employed. But when you say you've created 2.6 million jobs and still people are not being employed, then it means that what you've written on paper is just a hearsay something. It's just like you writing something to just come and lie to the people and not stating the factual thing on ground. And that is what is common with our politicians. And sometimes it hurts because it's not as if they don't know the truth. They know the truth, but they don't want to work towards that. They just don't want to do it. Why? Because of their own selfish gain. They want to amass wealth for themselves. And that is why you see politics of late have become a conducive how will I even put it? It has become something very conducive that everybody wants to do. Let me say a conducive career everybody wants to do. Because I feel like in politics, I'll get money. The number of people go into politics with the notion that we are going to help the people and then fight on behalf of the people are few. Compared to the number of people who go into politics because of their own interests, because of their selfish gain, and because they want to amass wealth for themselves and then get out of the country. And that is why we see coups happening. These should be a wake-up call to Africans. You see, it's kind of painful because we see coups happening, like attempted coups taking on in other African countries. And then sometimes you sit back at your country and then you think, who need to say movie? Yes.
And you're like, this can never happen.
It can
to
never
your country.
Before say rapture. Seriously, before say rapture. Because trust me, the youth are now waking up from their slumber. Gone are the days where even though the person is educated, but whatever the politician says, maybe we chisa. But now it's no longer like that. The youth are educated. Even my grandmother at the market is now she's even more educated than I am. She knows perfectly well that when I vote for you, you are supposed to do this and that for me. And when you don't do it, I'm not going to vote for you again. You know, when we talk about a leader, when I give you the nod to lead me, you are supposed to serve you, not me serving you. But now it has been in a way that when I give you the nod, I'm rather serving you and you are not serving me. And that is why taxpayers' money are being ventured into things that do not exist. So imagine you've brought out a nice policy. You've projected amount says 58 million. It's a particular project. At the end of the day, the citizens are expecting you to fulfill that promise. Because you know, any project they bring on board, there are other projections around it. Well, when we are bringing this project on board, maybe at the end of the day, when it's fully completed, it's going to employ 26 people. It's going to employ 30 people. It's going to generate this amount of revenue for the country. So if at the end of the day, that project is nowhere to be found, and you, the person who stood in for that project, cannot account for the money, then it means you are a thief. Yes. Oh, yes, you're a thief. And so you need to be taken on. You see, I don't know, but recently we've seen other countries, African countries, their prime ministers are being arrested, jailed for death penalty. A lot of them. But when you go to some countries, especially my country, Ghana, people have been declared fugitive. And they can tell you the time they are coming.
The time they are coming.
They will tell you when. So all this thing is bringing up this kind of holy anger in the youth, and it's pushing them to take over. Do you know why? So let's take Burkina Faso for instance. Ibrahim Traoré has succeeded, and he's doing marvelously well in Burkina Faso. And I can boldly tell you that if today an African man wants to stand up and then tell you that, or ask him which kind of the African countries would you choose, they will tell you they want to go to Burkina Faso. Why? Because Ibrahim Traoré is doing marvelously well in Burkina Faso, and he took that he took that decision and then he won. So that kind of mentality is telling people that if Ibrahim Traoré is doing this as a sole body, and a whole politicians with a whole parliamentarian, you don't pay fuel, you don't pay basic amenities, you don't pay for it.
Now they are paying for their fuel, please.
Oh, okay, no, I retract my words for that. Now they are buying.
Yeah, the D levy. They are paying for the D levy. So now they are paying for.
They are paying for it.
They are paying for fuel.
So they are paying for some, and they are not paying for some.
Yes.
So why don't you make the citizens feel like make them feel comfortable? Do you know why? Because we have all the natural resources. We have everything that can make us rich, and our leaders, they are our greatest problem ever. Now, Obiako wunye meshi to say ECOWAS.
Why? What did ECOWAS do? But don't you think they acted swiftly?
Which swiftly are they acting? No, what are they doing?
So what were you expecting?
Like it should be dissolved. ECOWAS should be dissolved because I'm not seeing.
Hey, ECOWAS.
Oh yes, it should be dissolved. Do you know why? ECOWAS will keep quiet and watch things happen in the country, and after the things are they've causing mess and chaos. I feel no best man go for someone quiet there. They should go and mitigate what. It's an insult, and I feel like they should dissolve it. For me, they are of no use. Because see, ECOWAS is a representative of all countries. And then you work together for the welfare of all countries. Right. It is a multi wanna say Ebia, Nigeria, Ghana, Burkina Faso, other African countries.
They are not doing
well. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to caution the president of that country. You are not doing the right thing. So imagine, as a president, you've been in power. So let's say maybe the presidential term has to do with you being in power for 4 years. After 4 years, there is an election. Whether you win, when you win, you go back. When you don't, another person takes over. So as a sole person who is standing as a president for a country, maybe in that constitution, you're supposed to go twice. African countries, the time was so best is our constitution. And then he keeps on going. It doesn't hurt a lot because when you are changing the constitution, you are bringing development. That is, I don't have a problem with that. If you are 80 years and you are still in power and you keep on changing the constitution, you are bringing the development. The youths are employed. There is no poverty. Everything is going on well. Our roads are well constructed. Infrastructures are well built. We don't rely on foreign aid. I have no problem with that. But Africans, depending on the 80 years, you are still changing the constitution. You are doing basically nothing in your country, and you keep on changing the constitution. And ECOWAS multi woman kasa. So we are not.
But don't you think that if the ECOWAS wouldn't have intervened, like we wouldn't have had like a good news or a great news in Benin?
If they would, so why did they wait? My problem is, why did they wait till the deed is done before they took a step? Whilst this thing can be prevented, you can equally prevent it. See, they've been doing that for long, and this has actually bring some kind of motivation in African leaders that ECOWAS will come in for me. What happened in Benin? ECOWAS went through, and then the people, the city president has been, shall I say, he has been intervened. Now he's still the president.
He's still there.
The person who plotted the coup.
Yeah.
His life is now in danger.
Yeah, his life is. Yeah,
his life is. He will be even sentenced to death.
All of them.
All of them will be sentenced to death. So you've kept quiet, and then the actions you are taking, you are just sending one information or passing across one information to African leaders, and that is, I'll continue doing whatever I want to do. ECOWAS will come in for me,
right?
Because they are not stopping you from doing the wrong thing.
Right. So in all of this, do you think Ghana stands a chance, or maybe Ghana is a risk as going through coup? Looking at how things are going, do you think we are at risk?
From the look of things.
Or you think there's hope?
In a way, there is hope.
In a way, there's hope.
They will only be cool if. You know, there is a current administration. They've promised a lot of things.
Yeah.
And people are still looking on to them to fulfill
their promises.
They'll only be cool if you don't fulfill it.
It.
So it means like, would your more atinka a diagro.
Yeah, and I think this is actually something that Dom Levo mentioned, that he had a private conversation with President John Dramani Mahama, and then he mentioned that
is one thing he fears the most.
That is one thing that he fears the most, that he wouldn't be able to fulfill the promises that he has given to the people, and then the people get angry and then they just take over. So that is one of the greatest fears.
Yeah, so we are just hoping that since it is one of his greatest fears, he will work towards it and then ensure that the appointees, you know, I always say that for a government to fail, it depends on the appointees.
When
they work very well, because Mahama cannot be in all the sectors, and that is why he has mandated people to do that. So for his government to succeed, then they have to help the government in materializing his vision.
Whatever promise
yes,
they
if
have
not,
promised.
because you know that there was a coup plot during the previous administration.
Yes, and I think those people have been arrested.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Recently I think one has been sentenced to death. Yes, in Tino. Well, no country is so strong that you say that coup will not happen. It depends
on the attitudes of the citizens.
Yes.
If you stay disconnected from the people, that will fuel the anger, and then coup just take over. Moving on to our next story. Minority slums government over tariff hikes, demands withdrawal. The minority in parliament is protesting the recent increase in utility tariffs and is calling on the government to immediately reverse the decision. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission recently announced new adjustments. Electricity tariffs will go up by 9.86% and water tariffs will increase by 15.92% effective January 1st, 2026. The tariff review forms part of the Commission's multi-year adjustment plan running from 2026 to 2030, aimed at supporting investment, dealing with inflation and stabilizing the energy sector. But the minority says the hikes are unfair and will worsen the hardship already faced by citizens and businesses. Speaking to journalists in Accra, ranking member on the Energy Committee, George Kwame Abuaje, argued that instead of pushing costs to consumers, government should reduce the huge commercial and technical power losses, currently around 32%, which cost the country about $80 to $90 million annually. He warned that the new tariffs could cripple small businesses, erode household income, and push many into what he termed utility poverty. He insists the only solution is a full reversal of the increment. Right, Ms. Debbie, that is coming from the minority. Do you think it's fair for the Public Utilities Commission to actually increase utility, looking at the hardship and the standard of living of the people?
At all. It is not fair. Not at all. Especially when their services are very, very poor. Sometimes you have water in a week, you have water like 2 days.
Like 2 days, and then the water bill comes, and then you're asking yourself, how many times did I fetch water in this house?
You get it.
Yeah.
So in a week, like 2 days, and the rest of the 3 days, there is no water. It has to do with electricity. Sometimes you don't use gadgets that actually, should I say dropper?
But I think for the past months now, electricity has been stable.
Because of prepaid,
yeah.
Or should I say, yes, prepaid. Because when you're using prepaid, it has to do with personal. Whether you consume the amount of energy, let me put it that way, the amount of light you consume is what you're going to pay for.
But they don't take the light out like
no
frequently.
No.
Yes.
For now it's stable.
Yeah, it's stable.
So I think the main focus should be on water tariff, because for that child, increasing it to that amount is very, I'm sorry for this word though.
Would you say it's
very
unreasonable?
Yes, unreasonable. It's unreasonable. Looking at what is going on of late, it is true that cedi to the dollar has been stabilized. It is true that some prices of goods have been reduced, but you're not really feeling that impact like that. And then increasing it to such an amount is very risky. And you see, the only question that came in mind was when the Public Accounts Committee were revealing their exposés and stuff, the amount of money that have been embezzled in the Ghana Water Company Limited with electricity, it's not easy. It's not small. So why are they trying to cover it up by putting burden on the ordinary citizen to pay for their mess? Because if you look at the money, according to the Public Account Committee, the money that have been embezzled, or the monies that cannot be found, or cannot be accounted for, is very huge. So why did that money pass? You can't tell me that it is goals that came for that money. It was human beings that were working in that sector. So why then will you push it on the citizens to pay? And they'll give you complaints that they want to fix this, they want to fix that, and people, and most especially, they'll tell you that because of illegal connection. A lot of people does illegal connection, and that is why they increase the tariffs, because they don't also want to run at loss. But let's not forget that we depend on water every day, and that is too much. How much do you take a month? You pay for your rent, you pay for your transport, you pay for your feeding, and then adding this to it, since it can sound. So I feel like they should go back to the table. There should be a dialogue between them and the government, and then find a better way. If they can reduce it a bit, it will be okay. Because see, when they increase this, don't forget that prices of goods will also get increased. Because when they increase water, they increase electricity, most of the produce we buy are being stored in the freezers, and those people use light in doing that. So when you're increasing the tariff on electricity, they also increase their prices because they don't want to run at loss. It's a business they are running. So at the end of it, it's a consumer that suffers the most. So we are pleading with them. They should do something about it.
And this is going to cost the consumer a lot.
A lot.
Because not everyone will be able to, pay or even afford for this increase in utility bills. So what do you think the government can do to ease the impact on the Ghanaian citizen?
The only thing the government can do is to go in negotiation with these people and then talk it out with them. So that is why I say they should go back to the table and then have a fair bargain. They should judge on it and then bring up a good outcome that will favor the people. Because I've seen a lot of people, I think Labour Commission, Traders Union, Congress, and a lot of people are calling for the cancellation of the tariffs. Because they feel like it's not going to help.
Right. So you are in agreement with the minority that
for this
it should be reversed immediately.
It should be.
And then looked into and then they should come again.
Yes.
Right. Moving on to our last news story. The hawks driving your government's agenda have no interest in Ghana's development, Afenyo-Markin tells Mahama. The minority leader in parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has expressed concern over what he says is the growing influence of hardliners within the current government. In a letter addressed to President John Dramani Mahama, marking 1 year since the 2024 elections, he warned that the individuals he describes as hawks are steering government decisions in ways that do not support Ghana's long-term development. Afenyo-Markin said these individuals appear more focused on power, revenge, and political control rather than development and nation building. He believes this approach risks wasting the public goodwill and the president received after returning to office and could damage his legacy if not checked. He urged President Mahama to prioritize development over retribution, engage moderates within the NDC, and use the party's majority in parliament to deliver policies that create opportunities for citizens. According to him, leadership at this stage must focus on strengthening the economy, improving governance, and planning for future generations. He stressed that legacy is measured not by how many officials are removed from office, but by the developments achieved and the opportunities created for the future. Right. Well, what do you think Afenyo-Markin mean by the hawk within the current government?
That is directly to the president.
The hawks. He said the hawks in President Mahama's administration are not, what they are doing are not in line with what they are supposed to deliver to the people.
Okay, so I think maybe he will be referring to the appointees.
To the appointees.
Yes, the appointees instead. That they are not doing what they are supposed to do. But it's quite funny. It's quite funny this is coming from the minority.
Mm-hmm.
He wants us to do politics.
Why is it funny?
He wants us to do politics because what he is saying, what he is cautioning, or what he has pinpointed from the current administration, were they able to do it? No, were they able to do it? It's just a question. Were they able to do it? You are saying that it's not only about being in office, but leaving a legacy. For posterity or for generations. What legacy have you left behind? Or have you left behind?
But they came with free
They came with what?
Free SHS. And
how efficient was the free SHS? No, how efficient? The traffic lights you are talking about. Like you come to school for 1 month and go home 3 months. You come to school for 2 months and go home for 4 months and come back. That is free SHS you are talking about. That free SHS has caused a mess. A whole mess in the educational system. They thought they brought free SHS. The initiative was good. But how efficient and how it was run was very bad. And it was very, very poor. How can you go to school for 2 months? No, you've been in school. I think when you go to school, it's not 3 months, mama crying.
Yeah, 3 months. Sometimes 3.5 or
someone 3.5 months. But sometimes you even finish school and you don't even complete the syllabus. Now we went back school 2 months and then you go home 3 months. And it was during this free senior high school that we saw a lot of teenagers getting pregnant. Why? Because they go home, she knew home. Imagine you don't have that kind of parents who are so eager for you to take your education serious, who will get you a teacher or push you to go for extra classes, and they don't just care. It's also now also money almost like school. And how do you expect this child to pass? How do you expect the result of this child to be encouraging? No, it wouldn't. So if you talk about free SHS, there is a whole lot. Nihun book, no, can I say? Is it full scope? But that notebook. A home base a 5, any fun. So you cannot just bring out an initiative just like that. So if you're talking about the MPP, for me, for them, they'll see that they've done something. But for me, they did nothing. They did nothing for the country. Free SHS now, boy, they didn't do anything. And even talking about roads, what they did was to cause financial loss to the state. Yes, that is what they did.
So, looking at the appointees of this current government, do you think that they are up to the task, or they are just there for revenge?
Why are not?
Just as Afenyo said.
No, they are not. They are not out for revenge for what? No, revenge. No, is that why they are there?
No,
that is not why they are there. They have been given what was the name? A target to meet. Every appointee has been given a target to meet. You are there to meet your target. You are not there to seek revenge upon anyone. Say, and then the man inside the soul more. It doesn't mean that they are taking or they are seeking revenge. It's because maybe who didn't be, and they are babe foul. So I don't know why the minority is trying to make it seem as if this current administration is after them, and they are seeking revenge on them. No. You people, you did the worst thing. Then they should be questioning them. Mm-hmm. But you are walking about freely. So you see, and that is the main reason why they end up doing demonstrations that do not make sense. Someone has been taken for interrogation. You are sitting on the street demonstrating for what reason? That you are being you're not being given the freedom. The majority is intimidating you. The majority is seeking revenge on you. For me, I don't see that as a revenge. For me, with the Mahama appointees, for now, or for the past, because you're almost crossing a year. For me, I'll say so far his appointees are doing well. They are doing well. So far, they are doing well. I don't see any hitches with what they are doing. Maybe it will be after their government. Their government say better say the BBC. But for me, for now they are doing everyone is on their toes. Doing their best. Look at Interior Minister. Every now and then he's briefing us on what's the name? Conflict recently about bullion van. How we need to secure our bullion van. And he is doing massively well. If you take other ministers they are doing well, except for the minister who went to cry.
Which minister went to cry? Which minister is that?
The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Well, that was from the beginning when Galamsey became so rampant, and that was when he got so emotional about how our lands were so devastated. So he became so emotional, he was crying on national television. So that was just by the way. But aside that, the appointees so far so good. Yeah, they are trying their best.
You think they're trying their
Yes,
best?
they are.
Including some George.
Ah,
I can't do.
Ogbogo.
They say mama appointees no say I'm kita phone no. Yo, I'm working. Take me.
Hey, and one more person, the Ashanti regional minister.
Oh.
That man is doing massively well. Massively well. He's now giving he's giving pressure to the NPP. Trust me.
To the NPP, the
He's
TikTok
using-
minister.
That is what they are calling him.
The
But
TikTok minister.
He's-
But he has
he's-
been on
he's-
TikTok before he became
yeah,
a minister.
yeah.
Intimo.
So so far so good. They are doing well. The only thing I would advise is that they should put in much effort.
They should put
And
in
then
much
for
efforts.
someone like Sam George, I believe he should think through his what's the name? He should think through his thoughts, or he should think through his plans.
His
yes,
plans
his
he
plans
has for the country.
before bringing it out. Do you know this morning when I was coming
Mm-hmm.
and the vehicle, the passengers were talking about the re-registration. But yes, and go for Buefu. What's the essence of? So that was what they were asking. What's the essence of re-registration?
Right.
So I feel
think
like
we can take that on and then
yes.
let's know what people think about the re-registration of our SIM card. Right. This is where we draw the curtains for the news headline review. Up next we have the Beach Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Lawyer Maurice Ampao has criticized fellow legal practitioner Martin Kpebu over what he describes as an attack on the special prosecutor. According to him, the ruling National Democratic Congress government is seeking to remove the OSP, and Martin Kpebu is allegedly being used to facilitate that agenda. He claims lawyer Martin has shown gross disrespect towards the office of the special prosecutor and its head Kisi Ejabin because President Mahama appointed him as a member of the Operation Recover All Loot Task Force. An appointment he believes places him in the pocket of the president. He alleged that Martin has repeatedly made unfounded accusation against the office of the special prosecutor and reacting appropriately whenever he is asked to provide evidence, often disrupting proceedings. He insisted that because of Kpebu's ties to the presidency, his perceived alignment with the ruling government, he has become emboldened. The NDC wants to remove special prosecutor and Martin Kpebu is being used because he is in the pocket of the president. I think this is not an issue that needs to be politicized. So let's be fair and sincere to ourselves. We've been in this country for not for 8 solid years, but we've experienced a government for 8 solid years. And the office of the special prosecutor was established somewhere in 2017, 2018, if I'm not wrong. And Kisi Ejabin was being appointed as the head of the office of the special prosecutor. Now, what is the role of the OSP? The role of the OSP is to investigate corruption and corruption-related cases. People who are alleged to be involved in corruption, cases that is being tied with corruption. His role is to investigate into that case, ensure that the person who is being alleged to have a tie or a connection to that corruption is well interrogated, whether the person is free from corruption or the person is engaged in it. Get his facts and evidence that show that this person is guilty of the allegations. Then he move forward to hand it over to the needed authorities for that person to be prosecuted. That is what the OSP role is all about. Now, for the past 8 years, not even an ant, not even a chicken was prosecuted. And don't forget that the office of the special prosecutor is a very sensitive one. And each and every year, I believe there is an allocation of money that is being pumped into that particular office. So if the government keeps pumping money into an office and then we see no benefit of that office, then automatically what is the use of that office? It means either that office needs to be dissolved, or we need to sit down and find out what is the root cause of it. Is the office of the special prosecutor being influenced? What is preventing him from executing his mandate? Is he because maybe he feels like he has been appointed by a particular political party and so they are influencing him in doing his work? Or there is other things that we need to know? And looking at Martin Kpebu and OSP, for lawyer Maurice Ampao to say that, well, it's because Martin Kpebu has been appointed as a part or a member of the oral board or the oral committee, that is why he's doing what he's doing, and because the president is interested in taking off the OSP, and so they are using Martin Kpebu to do that. You see, I don't know why we tend to politicize every issue. I don't know why issues that don't need politics, issues that don't need to be buttressed with politics, we do so. If this is red, let's just go straight and call it red. Let's call a spade and not a big spoon. If you've created an office, I'm sure no business owner will just stand up and then feel like, well, today I feel so good, so I'm going to create a business, without putting down a laid down plan. In the next 5 years, this is what I want to achieve from this business. This is the revenue I want to acquire from this business. There is the number of employees I want to employ. Every business owner sits down and then plan before they establish a business. So before a businessman sets up his own company or an institution, they have a laid down plan. The first month, what they intend to get from the company. They've placed all that on a paper. And they make sure that they put their might, their strength, and everything in that company, because their survival in a way depends on it. So I'm not sure a government will just wake up one day and then feel like, I'm just creating an office just like that. You don't work, just go to office, I'll be paying you. No. You are there to investigate these cases. And that is why when Ken Oforiate's issue came on board, everybody was happy, because we know what went on. We know what transpired in the previous years. We know how money was looted. They came telling us that there was no money in the country, but we saw how people were flying outside the country. We saw how people were bathing in the air. We saw all that. We saw money being projected into a project of national concern, and at the end of it, the project is nowhere to be found. The money is nowhere to be found. And the person in charge of that is also nowhere to be found. And you cannot tell me that money got missing. No. Because that allocation was made in Parliament. It was deliberated on. And it was agreed that, okay, fine, let's project this money into the sector. And then the money has been projected, only for us to wake up the day and found out that the project is nowhere to be found. The money, we cannot account for it. And so issues like this needs to be taken on. Issues like this needs to be thoroughly investigated. And people behind it need to face the drum. They need to dance to the tune of their own music. So if the OSP is not doing what he's supposed to do, then what is your benefit? It means you are not adding up. So you need to go. It means that office needs to be dissolved. It needs to be dissolved. We're here when money was allocated for National Cathedral. The cathedral has now become a manhole. The money, we cannot find it. Money has been allocated for Sky Train. The train is nowhere to be found. The money is nowhere to be found. A lot of projects. But we have unconstructed roads. We have students learning under trees. We have remote communities where they don't even have a CHIPS compound for proper health care. We don't have it. All these monies can be projected into that. But we cannot find the money. And you see, if you don't have the heart, you cannot watch the expose of the Public Accounts Committee, because you'll be asking yourself, so we have such amount of money in this country, so where is the money? Where are they? And all this are tied to corruption, in a way, bribery. And all this are the work of the OSP. Investigate into it. Bring the people to book. It is so sad that an OSP will bring out an expose and then fish out a company, and then the company will come back retaliating to the OSP and telling the OSP that the OSP is wrong. Like, it's wrong. In a way, the person is trying to tell the people that, OSP, you don't know your work. OSP, you are incompetent. OSP, you don't know what you are doing. Because tell me why OSP will bring out an expose against Strategic Mobilization Limited, and then Strategic Mobilization Limited will wake up the next day and tell us that what the OSP is saying is just false allegation. And also allege that when officers of the OSP has been sent into their office, they ended up taking equipment that belongs to their office. Like, you know, how do you want the people to think? To hail the OSP, to praise the OSP? No. And if someone has advocated himself to call for the removal of the OSP, you end up saying that because the person is in the pocket of the president, and in a way because the president has appointed a person, and so whatever the president tells the person is what the person does. Why are we like that? Why are we like that? Are you trying to tell me that you've not been in this country for the past 8 years? You don't know what has been going on. You don't see what is going on. You don't hear of anything. And lawyer Matikwebu does not understand the main reason why you allow Ken Oforiatta out of the country. Till OSP detained Martin Kwebu, which is wrong. I had no idea he could do that. Because he was not able, that should be done to Ken Oforiatta, not Martin Kwebu. It should be done to somebody who has been declared as a fugitive, not somebody who is advocating for you to be removed because you are not doing what you're supposed to do. And you see, when we continue like this, there is no way we are going to fight corruption. When we continue like this, the country will be a safe haven. Our public offices will be a safe haven for people to just go in there and then steal and go scot-free. We can only fight corruption when these people are being held accountable for their deeds, for their works. If we don't do that, then we are encouraging them to steal them more. And that is why it's very funny when they come with a very long paper reading essays of 20 paragraphs on how to fight corruption. But when you get on grounds, they are doing basically nothing. We will deceive ourselves. If at the end of the term of this current administration, no one is being arrested, then what is the essence? So for the OSP, I think the time is due and the time is now. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. And thank you too for making time with us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be coming up with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1. GhanaTalks Radio, #1. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, the Nsuma Market Fire victims cry out for help as festive season sales slips away. Labour expert Austin Game calls for calm and tariff increment talks. Yendi Member of Parliament slams Ghana's democracy as ineffective. Ghanaian PhD students in the United Kingdom face financial rain as government withholds stipends for 48 months. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports and showbiz.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
Traders at the Nsuma Market accounted their losses after devastating fire razed over 80 stores, claiming the life of an 8-year-old girl. The market, which is a lifeline for many families, remains shut with no signs of refurbishment, leaving traders worried about missing out on crucial festive season sales. The fire, which occurred on November 26th, has left many traders without a source of income. Reverend Eric Amo, spokesperson for the affected traders, expressed frustration and desperation, recounting their loss with Christmas fast approaching. Meanwhile, the municipal chief executive, George Kpakpo-Alote, has assured traders that the government is working on measures to support affected traders.
You know, it's a worry in the sense that we have over 200 people that have been affected. And what they do is that they come here and then have a daily bread. If they don't come, they will not eat. So my worry as a concern, though I'm a victim though, but also as an opinion leader, the costs are coming in as to what is the effect concerning the market. I mean, that's my worry. For the part of the assembly, fine. They said investigations are ongoing. That is accepted. But in the interim, my worry is that in the interim, nothing is being done to at least help those who have been affected. And day in, day out, the costs are coming. I'm also a victim, but the costs are coming. Also for also for so it's a whole lot. So my appeal is that if in the interim something can be done, because these are seasonal, fashion designers, hairdressers, and other petty traders. These are seasonal, and all of us have been affected. No single person among the fashion, the tailors or seamsters has been left out. So it's a worry. So if in the interim something can be done, just to at least.
A renowned labor consultant, Austin Game, is urging the government and the Trades Union Congress to lay aside their differences and return to the negotiation table to discuss the recent tariff increment. He stressed that the current impasse is not in the best interest of the nation and its citizens. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Game highlighted the need for both parties to engage in constructive dialogue, focusing on finding a mutually beneficial solution. He believes that with the right approach, an agreement can be reached that balances the interests of all stakeholders. Game has consistently advocated for transparency and fairness in labor negotiations, emphasizing the significance of considering the economic realities and the impact on citizens.
Well, to be honest with you, governments, as I know it to be, I have been in that office before. The government is supposed to be proactive when it comes to issues of labor. Labor is a national security issue. And therefore, I am pretty sure, knowing the caliber of the government in place, they will have to trigger their proactive approach in calling for a national tripartite committee meeting. Because these are macro issues, not necessarily the one that is negotiable in the common hands of both parties is how to adjust pay based upon the GDP of the country and related matters. Now, this is a macro issue, and workers in the utilities are members of TUC. Let me repeat that portion. Workers who work in the power sector, in the water sector, are members of TUC, and they have their general secretary that belongs, that is affiliated to the TUC, and so they are also not oblivious of the fact that these monies are there to, in one way or the other, ensure that we have a stable power for all other workers to be able to work in their various industries. So both parties have a case. And so I will not, if I were to be government, I will not shy away at all in getting the labor minister, of course, the power sector ministers to get together to enable them to have a conversation about this issue. It's not something to go and argue for somebody to win or lose. It's something that is so sensitive and dear to the whole nation, not only people who are working in those sectors and the whole country. We need water, we need power, we need stability, and therefore all are important. So I will urge government and TUC to get to the table, leave out the insensitivity aspects of the whole thing, and talk it over.
The Member of Parliament for Yendi, Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan, has expressed concern about Ghana's current democratic system not meeting its intended goals. In an interview, he emphasized that war coups are not the solution. Leaders must act responsibly to prevent instability in the country. Mr. Al-Hassan urged Ghanaian leaders to take proactive measures to address pressing issues and ensure the country's democracy serves the people effectively. His comment comes amid growing concerns about the country's economic challenges and governance. The Member of Parliament remarks highlight the need for leaders to prioritize the welfare of citizens and work towards creating a more stable and prosperous Ghana.
From 2021 to 2025, when I did my checks, I think we had like 11 coups
around the
Mali, Burkina Faso, almost everywhere. And I don't know, is there something we are not getting right? Some of them will tell you when they succeed, they draw inspiration from the past coup leaders on the continent and this and that. It is all because the democracy we are practicing today is not serving its intended purpose. As those of us who are the torchbearers, those of us who are leading in that democratic space, we should begin to ask ourselves, are we delivering what the people expect of us? Yes, coup on its own is bad. It's not the alternative to democracy. It is never the alternative to democracy. But we should also ask ourselves as political elites, are we delivering the mandate that has been given us? Because the people down there, these days we have the youth bulge, where you have almost every part of the continent. There is a greater percentage of the unemployed people being the youth. And these are people, they say the devil finds work for their idle hands. These are people who can foment troubles at the least opportunity. And today, they are the same people who recruit into the army and all those things. And trust me, they don't just because you've given them, they form certain mindsets before even they get recruited into the army because of the way things have been done. And when they get there and they even see the level of deterioration even within the ranks of the army. In fact, every part of our society is getting decayed by the day because of poor leadership. And so democracy is good. Democracy is the best form of government we can have for ourselves. But the leaders who are supposed to let the system work are failing. And so if we don't sit up and just begin to condemn these things, I think we'll be heading for serious. Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso, where after the coup, Ibrahim Traoré is being hailed everywhere as the person who has come to respond to the needs of the masses. In fact, almost every step he has taken seems to be resonating with the masses, with the youth. And so why can't our elected leaders also behave the same way? so that we know that they are in for the betterment of the larger society. Look at the way our mineral resources are being given out to foreign companies, as if there's no.
The National Democratic Congress is breathing a sign of relief after the Office of the Special Prosecutor refrained from publicly accusing the party of obstructing its work. Mustafa Gbande, a senior member of the National Democratic Congress, expressed the party's relief of being abstained from the affairs and operations of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. In an interview, he emphasized the NDC's commitment to cooperating with the OSP, noting the party's willingness to work with the office to ensure that investigations are carried out smoothly and efficiently.
As young as I am, and I have always said, standing here, I think that the Ghanaian systems have problems, and that at every point in time, governance and government systems must work seamlessly without any obstruction, and people must be seen being professional when they are given a job to do. Now, I am happy that the OSP is not in public singing Ankwa Noma Part 2, that anybody in the NDC or under President Mahama is obstructing him from doing his work. And I am also happy that the OSP is not out there saying that Ghanaians are obstructing him from doing his work. The institution of the OSP, for me, I hold a view that is such a sensitive and an all-time important institution that must exist. An independent individual pursue corruption. Doesn't matter who is involved, you have to do that. Scrapping it, I doubt if President Mahama, I do not know his position, I doubt if he would get into the temptation of scrapping.
Its MPs have come out to support
the institution of the OSP. That is also under separation of power. They have the right, they pass the bill, they put in place the OSP. President Mahama and government didn't put together the OSP, but I think that it has been an institution of national interest. As we stand, all the windows of escape for all related corruption matters stands with the OSP.
PhD students from Ghana studying in the United Kingdom are facing extreme financial hardship after the government failed to pay their stipends for over 48 months. The students, sponsored by the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, says the lack of payment has left them struggling to make ends meet. Prince Komala Bansa, president of the Ghanaian PhD cohort in the United Kingdom, describes the situation as desperate, with students facing eviction, court cases due to unpaid rent, and the threat of deportation. They are urging the government to intervene and settle their outstanding debt. The situation highlights concerns about Ghana's scholarship management and the impact on students' academic and personal lives.
The PhD cohorts, some of them had finished their thesis, but they are unable to submit because they've been blocked by the universities, and so they don't have any access to the university portal. So these are just, the summary of the situation. In terms of the stipend payment, for several months, between 4 to 48 months, students have not received any stipend. And as you may be aware, those who are studying outside London takes between £1,023 a month, and then also those who study in London takes between £1,000 and £1,200 a month. This money has not been paid for so many months, including this particular year. So obviously, if anybody is making an argument about debt being left behind, the question also therefore is that what about this year where you have also been in the office? What have you done to make payment towards these things? So it's really a very, very catastrophic situation. Students have had to live on food banks. Some of them are actually jettisoning out of their accommodation as we speak. I get calls every now and then. Some of them obviously have to be patching with other colleagues just to put body and soul together.
In business, Dr. Catherine Couture of Goldfields Ghana Limited has been crowned Mining Personality of the Year at the 11th Ghana Mining Industry Awards, becoming the first woman to receive the industry's top individual honor. The ceremony, organized by the Ghana Chamber of Mines, celebrated excellence under the theme Celebrating Excellence in Mining. The awards highlighted achievements in safety, innovation, technology, gender inclusion, community development, and responsible mining. Dr. Couture, manager of the Takwa mine, has been widely recognized for breaking barriers and demonstrating transformative leadership in Ghana's mining sector. She was earlier honored in February 2025 by Mining Review Africa as one of the African mining elite, receiving their Most Outstanding Leader Award. Appointed Takwa mine manager in May 2024, Catherine became the first woman to lead a major mine in the country. Prior to this, she served as Goldfields' first female metallurgical manager, overseeing metallurgical operations at both Takwa and Daman mines. She joined the mine in 2013 as a superintendent and rose steadily through the ranks, earning promotion to unit manager in 2015. Her leadership drove several successful business improvement initiatives that significantly increased gold recovery. She is widely celebrated for her role in empowering young professionals, particularly women pursuing careers in mining and mineral engineering. She sponsors 2 annual academic prizes at the University of Mines and Technology for outstanding mineral engineering students. She is active in professional bodies including the Ghana Institution of Engineers, Women in Mining Ghana, Ladies in Mining and Allied Professions, and the West African Institute of Mining. Her 2-decade career began at Golden Stars Wassam Mine in 2004. With over 20 years of experience in gold mining, she is celebrated as a symbol of resilience, excellence, and the rising influence of women in Ghana's mining industry. Her win at the 2025 marks a historic milestone and reinforces her reputation as one of the most influential figures shaping the future of mining in Ghana. Still on business news, officials of Food and Drugs Authority in the Ashanti region have intensified market surveillance and consumer awareness campaign to tackle the rise of expired and counterfeit products as the festive season approaches. The FDA says educating consumers on how to identify fake products on shelves and markets is a key to enhancing the effectiveness of its operations. By equipping shoppers with knowledge, the authority aims to reduce the circulation of unsafe goods. In addition to consumer education, the Food and Drugs Authority is ramping up engagement with manufacturers and distributors, wanting them to comply with operational standards and regulatory requirements. Ashanti Regional Director of FDA Nathaniel Nana Kwabena Nkrumah explained that the authority has adopted a 2-pronged strategy to safeguard consumers. Mr. Nkrumah also issued a public alert against purchasing body enhancement products that do not meet regulatory standards, emphasizing the dangers of sourcing such products from unverified suppliers. To sports, former Black Stars defender Tony Balfour has called for the establishment of a Ghana football office in Europe to closely monitor young players of Ghanaian descent. His comment comes at a time when several diaspora-based players have expressed interest in playing for Ghana following the Black Stars qualification for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Speaking in an interview, Balfour stressed the need of engaging these players while making it clear that final decisions remains in the hands of the national team's technical team. Balfour, who is the first diaspora-born player to represent Ghana, also urged players to make timely decisions about their international future. Ghana and the Black Stars now turn their focus to preparation for the FIFA World Cup as the technical team continue to assess player options both at home and abroad. Franco International School player Rachel Edu has set her sights on becoming the best player in the world after standing out in the 2025 Milo Under-13 Champions League. Despite losing to the champions, the captain of the side was adjudged the best player of the tournament and shared the top scorer award with Enoch, France's Roman Catholic school from the Bonu region, who scored 6 goals. Righteous was one of the most talked about teenagers during the tournament, and in the final, many good moments for his side came through him. After a 6-year break, the Milo Under-13 Champions League rolled back, bringing together over 100,000 school children from 16 schools with a theme, Raising Champions Together. In showbiz, Ghanaian actress and chief executive of Smartest Management and Production, Selassie Ibrahim, has urged managers of the Film Development Fund to administer it fairly and without favoritism. Speaking in an interview, she welcomed the government's decision to commit money to the fund, noting it must serve the people who can genuinely drive change in the sector. On 13th November 2025, the Minister of Finance, Kaiser Latofosin, announced government intention to allocate 20 million Ghana cedis to the film fund as seed money to help revive the film industry. According to the Development and Classification Film Act, the object of the fund are to provide financial support for the development and project of full-length feature films, which are the central focus of the fund. Other objects include providing financial support for television productions, television genres including drama, animated series, sitcoms, soaps and comedy designed to facilitate attitude and behavior change of citizenry. It's also meant to support cinema theatre development in the regional and district capitals, to promote the release of feature films in terms of publicity materials on radio and television advertisement. Ghanaian artist Lasmid has shared the type of music that shapes his creativity. In an interview, the Friday night hit maker disclosed the kind of songs he listened to during his leisure moment. Lasmid has demonstrated similar melodic patterns in several of his works, including a verse on Kojo Black's latest song titled Balance. Music used in Islamic worship and India composition often features more microtones than the usual diatonic scale used by many musicians across the world, he said. In the meantime, Lasmid has released a new single titled No Issues, which is already gaining significant attention. And that's how we wrap up on the morning news update. Thank you so much for making time with me. Don't forget to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio, as well as logging on to our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news updates. I am Deborah Dawson. Good morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues,
entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Onyam.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Every occasion demands the company of good music that fits the purpose. At GTR Sounds, we understand your need to create just the right atmosphere for your wedding or engagement, party, funeral, crusade, political campaign or rally, or just any other event, as well as executive and corporate functions. With our modern and high-quality spinning machines, mixers, microphones, and power amplifiers, binary speakers, and subs, we offer the highest of sound quality and music play at events and functions. At GTR Sounds, we have a team of seasoned and highly experienced sound engineers who understand just the right choice of music for your event. Locate our studios at Aponchi Hotel in Anya or call our numbers 054-8522-897 or 027-3363-973. You can also reach via our email sounds@GhanaTalksRadio.com. At GTR Sounds, we take care of your event.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. Ghana Talks Radio, #1. Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to us once again, and you are welcome to the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Right here, we bring you all the relevant stories making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories. And as you know, it's on the second segment, we bring along knowledgeable guests who are going to dive into national issues, social issues, and any relevant stories at all that matter to our audience right here on the show. And they are going to be telling us what they think, their thoughts, and what better way we can do to eradicate some of the problems we are facing right here in our country. Right. And I must say that this morning I'm so glad to have in the studio one beautiful lady, Madam Christabel Emefa Senyabo. Did I get the name right? Right. Good morning. How are you doing? Right, I'm good. And this morning as well, we have in the studio Mr. Emmanuel Chambers, who is an MPP communications team member. Good morning, Mr. Chambers.
Good morning.
Happy New Month, I guess, because I'm now seeing all of you, so happy New Month.
Exactly.
Are you already feeling the Christmas vibe?
It doesn't really seem as Christmas this month.
Oh,
so,
why? What happened?
I'm not really feeling it.
Why are you not feeling it? What happened?
Anyway, so I also want to say a very big sorry. So many times I've been contacted to come.
Oh, don't worry, that's fine.
So,
we got you.
I don't know whether it's the system, maybe the NDC. See, you are smiling.
Oh no, I'm not saying
anything. The thing is,
anything.
I don't really know. The economic hardship in the country is so high that everybody's silent. You don't even want to come out to say that, look, let's start ringing the bells or whatsoever. Everyone is quiet now. It's not easy. Yes.
Right. Yeah, so just in case I forgot, I must add that Miss Christabel is also the former 10 Eugene Vice President. Right. That's massive. How was the office though? How was it occupying the office?
Occupying the office of the Vice President has been a very helpful one. It has been a journey that no classroom has ever taught me. It has actually taught me how to be resilient, how to be initiative, and also man up to the task.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women are actually scared going for such positions. Would I use is it right to use the word scared, or feel intimidated, or maybe they just feel like, oh, this one there is for the men, so let's just leave it for the men to go and occupy that? But I actually love it. I feel very happy when I see women also going up for such positions. Right. Congratulations and
Thank you.
Well done. Well, are you also feeling the Christmas vibe already?
Oh yes, I am.
Oh, you see, she is. Don't say because she's a lady.
Because
It's just, Christmas all about money.
Not at all.
Christmas is all about spending some good time with family.
Making good use.
Family with money. Look, I tell you, happiness is always incomplete when there's no money.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
Who told you so? Share, you can be happy and be broke.
Very.
It's your mindset.
Broke man never know peace.
Oh.
But then there is money flowing in the system.
There's money flowing in the system. You
money is
see?
flowing in the
But where are
system.
you getting it from? Show us the way so that we also go for some.
I love this.
Because if money is not flowing in the system, I don't think big business institutions will be running sales. You can see Hisense and Samsung. Yes.
Black Friday.
Black Friday reducing 50% discounts.
But even that, I learned they even have a way of getting your monies back. So it's not really a discount or
but
maybe
at the
a
end
slash.
of the day, if Ghanaians don't have money, I don't think when things have been slashed to 50%, they can even purchase. But because the living situation has actually decreased a bit, which we are looking forward for it to improve in due time, I can say Ghanaians are a bit okay. Yeah.
Right. Ghanaians are a bit okay. What about you? You're also a Ghanaian. Tell me you're a bit okay.
You're also a Ghanaian for that matter. Let me come from this point or this view that
okay.
As for running discount or whatever on things, even in 2014, 2015, when every child in this country, including the unborn ones, went to a lot of hell. What
are some of the hell?
Right.
Tell me.
Where the living conditions was so high to the extent that a common man on the streets could not meet the demands of his. We saw, adverts all over and all that. Things were so reduced. During this season, there is a way people come to you, submit and invite your interest into consuming their goods. And right from there, they go back doors to get the money back. You understand? Yeah. So if she says there's money, I will not be surprised. They are really in charge. They are paying much attention to the government. They are paying much attention to, who becomes the next president of this country, rather than serving the Ghanaian children. We have seen how the rule of law and other things is being drummed to the lowest point. So, specific on this matter, yes, they are paying attention to making sure the monies are put in the pockets of their own members. So I am not surprised.
How in their own? But don't you? Wouldn't you?
Getting the money? You're not getting the money. She's getting the money.
Do you know my pocket? Have you seen my bank account? Speak for yourself.
So my friends and my viewers, they are not getting the money.
Please speak for yourself.
For yourself.
Use the pronouns well.
So speaking for myself, I realized that I've been a worker. The last month, we were told that the system failed. Out of the system failure, we could not receive our allowances and what have you. That the system was so good for them to pay the government or high-profile people. The same system when it came to some of us, it wasn't good enough. They didn't even pay us fully last month. So how will I be happy? The little they have given us. When I was coming here, I even used it on, lawfare and other things. So for me specifically, and some of my colleagues out there who are pretending, there's no money in our coffers at all.
Money will come.
Then, if you are complaining that there is no money in your coffers now, don't you think it is due to how the nation has been run down for the past 8 years? if you mention of 2014, 2016, they are not being fair to Ghanaians. Yeah, 2014, 2016. Even in 2016, when NDC was handing power over to the NPP, there was this allegation, or during their campaign, the former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, stated that the price of kenke will be reduced to 1 cedi and others. But in 2020 down to 2024, what did we see?
7 cedis.
Thank you.
Very well. I love the point she's coming from. And
So
you
let her finish, then go ahead.
So then, if our economic situation or the economic growth of the state has not been redundant, I don't think we'll be here today, just like you are complaining. This is because you are even saying at least you've been paid some. But back then, people were haircuts and the rest were facing it. Yes. So then, if you want to just lay emphasis on 2014, 2016 incidents, then I don't think you are being fair to Ghanaians. Basically because from 2016 to 2024, yes, right, we all saw the hardship. Freight was even bought at 1,200 and the rest. The bag of rice, Gary used to be 10 cedis per olonka, but we were buying Gary at 50 cedis and the rest in the name of COVID and the spike in goods and stuff. So then, if we are in this situation today and the NDC is doing all it can to better our living situation, and Ghanaians can attest to the fact, Ghanaians can attest to it very well.
At least there's reduction in transportation.
There's reduction in
honestly,
things.
I don't want to push this further because I think basically that's not what we're here to do.
Oh, but we are still on national
let me
issues.
30 seconds to run on this matter. You see, when we mean to talk about the transition from the John Dramani Mohammed's first term to what is it, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when you make some kind of comparison, and still making that kind of comparison for the 8 years of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo first term, comparing it to this current system we have, you understand that the angel, in fact, the supermost person we ever had is Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That notwithstanding, I'm coming in.
I see.
When you mean to say a country is doing well, you have to take into account the GDP growth, right? So the NDC handed over in 2016. We inherited a very poor GDP, the country's GDP, from the NDC, and we handed over around 5.6 to the NDC. The same man we took over from is the same man we handed over to. And when you come to say that the country is doing very well, we talk about the development. You know, when John Dramani Mahama ran to the IMF, the IMF told him the last time, look, we are going to give you money, but we're going to put a ban on your, public sector employment. That was what was done. And when Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo came to power, that was the first thing he revised. And, you know, employment started enrolling. So I want to submit on clear grounds, if you want to go into the issues of food and other things and Olonka of Gary and so, I want to tell you that the worst performance MP, I sat here one time and I said is the Honorable Eriko Poko, the agric minister. And I'm telling you, farmers are crying out there, which I said that this is a big topic, I don't want to go into it. But withstanding, this current government has promised us what is known as resetting agenda. You understand? The resetting is to arrest some people and leave some people. Resetting agenda they have promised us is to make sure that you employ or you appoint government officials and they are just occupying the offices. 24-hour economy. What are the jingles? What are the songs? Whatever. You have developed a formula 133. You have run away from the formula. You have not even found the answer. You have not solved the formula. So these are some of the things I don't want to go into it because it will mean I'm introducing what we call political football, and I don't want to play that game.
I see.
Can I?
Yeah, you want? Yeah.
So I thought she was done. So
no, she's not done.
She just to clear the air. Clear the air on this. Talking about the 24-hour economy, you know, to implement a policy, you have to go through structures for your implementation to be a success, right?
Yeah.
He is expecting us that in our first year in office, we roll it out immediately, just like they did with free SHS.
With free SHS, yes.
No, I'm not expecting.
No, let her finish.
They told us 120 days, and that is what
it was. It was mentioned in the contract.
It was mentioned in their own this thing.
It was not mentioned in
It was. NDC was very specific, and if you listen to Gusetano, If you listen to, is it Gositano, if I get the name right, he said it clear. They need 4.4 billion whatever to execute the project, and they have the oral team has promised them of 2.2 billion. You understand? And if that is so, it means that if you can spend 294 whatever on sanitary part, that we all know that the sanitary part will buy 15 cities to 20 cities in this country. This government will run outside the country and come and tell us that they bought one sanitary part, 40 Ghana cities. You understand? So we have seen your priority.
Have they told you they bought it for 40 Ghana cedis?
That is it. You have presented your 2026 budget and what you have captured there, and the number of sanitary pads you are going to distribute to the students. If you calculatively, you know NPP and calculations, if you calculatively went into it, you understand that one sanitary pad will be going for 40 cities.
My dear, do you have facts and evidence on this?
I tell you that one of the few guys who don't make statement without defending it is Ima, and I don't believe in propaganda. I believe in the common interest of the man or the child on the street, and that is what is my
I would
target.
want to see it.
That will take us time.
I would want to see it after the show. But
Okay,
then,
fine.
on this
Fine.
your
Fine.
funny year, on this sanitary pad issue, I think it's of national interest.
Yes, it's of
because
national
if you look at the population of Ghanaians, women are more than the men. And women, our issues are a lot.
Yes.
In terms of fertility, adolescence, come on, it's a whole lot. We are very complicated beings. So if Ghana or the government is taking interest in feminine hygiene and their health, I think it's a matter of concern. It is very good. It's a good initiative.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should sit and think of calculating your so-called calculations and say that it is 40 cedis per pad. That is absurd. We have people who still use cloth.
And even plantain hacks.
Yes.
Can I come in?
No. Plantain hacks during their menstrual periods, and even whilst you are using a sanitary pad, how do you feel? To talk of such instruments to cater for your own health, plantain hacks, and if you people are saying this doesn't make sense, giving Ghanaians, females to be specific, pads to use during their cycle, then you are not being rational as humans.
Can I come in?
No.
You are not being rational as humans, because the use of improper materials during those periods leads to a whole lot: cervical cancer, fibroids, infections, which at the end of the day, our public health is going to be at risk.
Yeah, there will be too much pressure.
A lot. So my dear, I think you should really look at that situation again.
No. I have never. I am not against the sanitary pad.
But you were calculating the sanitary.
We are calculating the amount of the money the government is throwing inside. When in this sensitive time, we need a lot to revamp.
So you think that is not a priority?
I think if it is a priority, you buy sanitary pad in the market 20 cedis, and the government that will go and import the things will tell you that he is buying it 40.
Wasn't
40
imported
cedis.
Because I didn't.
But you cannot buy.
I didn't read that it was imported.
No,
because from what I read, it was actually manufactured right here.
I have a care sister
in our country.
I have a care sister who is 11 years, and then these pads, they were giving pads recently in school, and it shows that it's not imported, not even manufactured outside. Everything is manufactured here. So then we are even increasing our
employment and
revenue.
Can I come in? Okay. My submission on this take is simple.
Right.
I am not against the provision of sanitary pad to students or children. That's not my take. My point is the fact that we are spending extra money on it all because, you see, I want to tell you, when anytime any government, especially the NDC government, releases a budget, whatever is quoted, it is not in the real figures. They have a hidden agenda.
Do you have evidence to that?
I have evidence.
I am saying that.
Listen, I am saying that.
If you've seen the real figures, show us.
The sanitary part, if you listen to the deputy minority leader, she clearly stated and did the calculations. Maybe I will submit it before we end the program. I will submit it. I will go through and say, I don't think each sanitary part 294, 92 there. If you do the calculations very well, each is going for 40 cities. And some are even saying
that is not realistic.
That is
no, it's not realistic.
I will get
right.
it. So as we go.
Right. It's already getting heated. Mr. Chambers, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You are ready. Miss Christabel, are you ready? Don't worry, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
We're already fine.
All right. So there's been an issue that is actually coming from our communications ministry, Mr. Sam George, and then it seems like after all the frustrations that Ghanaians went through to register their SIM card, forming the long queues, waking up early at dawn to go and make sure that you get your SIM card registered or even linked to the Ghana card. It looks like we are going to do it again. Are we ready for that as a country? But are you ready to go and form the queue and then register your SIM card again? Do you see it to be necessary?
I think if the minister has mentioned that we would have to go through the re-registration of SIM cards, and he has valid reasons why he wants us to go through the same process again. Definitely, you did mention of database being corrupted or something like that, if I'm getting it right. So we know of people using others' identities. Yes. For fraudulent activities and the rest. So to tackle these issues, and then if we have to go through this process again, and I think we should. Yeah.
You think it's necessary?
It is necessary.
So what happens to the previous data they collected?
With that, I don't work in the ministry, so I can't really. But then, if there should be faults, I think these are the mechanisms they are going through to correct these errors. Yeah, because we are in a computer world, and the system can crash
at any
time.
Right.
So, yeah.
But do you see this to be a sort of like a political gimmick, as in to say that Madam Esla also didn't play her part well when it comes to the re-registration? Do you see it as such, or you see it to be something genuine?
I see it to be genuine.
You see
they are just delivering their duties.
Mr. Chambers.
So before I go ahead,
no, we are not going there.
I've secured the evidence, so maybe after the show.
Yes, so after the show, you show it to us.
It's even 45 cedis per one.
Hey, no.
So
realistic.
I'm in it.
Don't worry.
Talking about the SIM card registration, as for the minister in charge, Honorable
Sam George.
For me, I believe that he's jumping over matters.
Oh, why do you
he's
think
too loud? And if you listen to him and all his attempts, he has not succeeded in any case. The case of DSTV, the case of disposing the ELTA to go to ELTA to go to Telecel, merging it.
Right.
Of course, we will say he disposed it, whether merging it or not. He now moved our national, assets to a private sector, which the private sector will now have the absolute control over it. If you listen to him and some other comments he comes out on social media to make, and he has not achieved it fully to the interest of the common person on the street, it is obvious that this one is not an exception. So
you think he's not going to succeed with
he
this
is
one
going to succeed, but what are the errors in our SIM cards? What are the errors? We already have the Ghana card. The Ghana card, when they enroll the NI, the same Sam George and Co were making noise that there's no need for Ghana card once you have your birth cert or traveling passport and all that. Why are you not in this country? They were making a lot of noise. Today, they are seeing Ghana card as one of the most important identification card for one or every citizen of this country to have. You understand? Now, if you come out today to tell us that there are errors in our SIM cards we use, what are the errors? Do you know the hell of going to queue all in the name of these errors?
Yeah, I get it, but this whole thing is just to secure us, because
what's the security about it?
Because if you could check just your Ghana card to see the numbers that are linked, you know that it's not just your number.
It's not
you know that it's not just a number, because how can an unknown person just call me and then should be able to tell me my name?
You see, in all of this, it is fine, but I want to tell you that cannot be stopped. Our details are put out there freely, and the system they are bringing on board is not a perfect system to clean protect our system. You see, have you failed to understand that we go ahead to apply for jobs we apply for schools and other things, and that we dispose or expose our details to those people. We do. You understand? As for using Ghana card to register multiple, what is the name? SIM cards. It's not the best. But I am so happy that this government is not tending to believe the importance of digitalization in the system. So this is a system we have set for them. So if we have set this digitalization system for them, we have given them the free stance for them to continue, and they are coming up with this idea of trying to revamp the place as they describe it. I hope so, but being too loud and speaking at all times without result is my fears, and that is the Sam George I'm describing here. So if there will be any positive results out of this, madam, I have no challenge.
You have no
I have no challenge. But the fears is if it turns out to be like the DSTV.
But what makes you think that this is not going to yield a positive result? Is it because
before someone says that something is going to yield a positive result, you have seen an instances where something of similar do not yield any positive result. I am making references to the DSTV.
But that is a different case altogether. This has to do with our SIM card.
That's why I said I'm hoping. That at the end of the day it turns out to be the best for us. But I don't want to see it like that of the what is it?
The DSTV.
The DSTV. Well, I still begin to question myself if this government have really appointed the right people to occupy their offices.
What makes you think so?
Very well. Have you heard of his deputy? Do you know where his deputy is today?
Who?
The communication deputy.
No.
You haven't heard of him?
No.
He is as quiet and silent as anything.
But if there's nothing for him to do, I don't think he should
I'm coming. You know, one thing is that before you appoint someone to lead a ministry of that kind, first of all, you have to take into consideration the person's knowledge to deliver. You understand? Now, the ministry is so redundant. It's not working. We are only hearing noise from that ministry. I have my reasons for bringing in the deputy.
Hey, you are hearing only noise.
We are hearing only noise. There's nothing ongoing.
But the data reduction, do you need to benefit from it?
Data
reduction, do you need to benefit from it? The data reduction
from what?
The negotiation they went with MTN.
From what to what?
Didn't you benefit?
The MTN I'm using from what to what?
Oh.
The MTN, no, I'm using the MTN. Tell me the reduction on MTN.
Okay, you just continue.
I am not seeing the reduction.
Don't worry.
No, I can't put myself into the shoe of gratifying something I don't know of.
Okay.
I am using MTN. I do not see the reduction. Okay. So maybe we have just for me. Your just for me is different from my just for me, right?
Okay.
And so I'm still buying the data the same way I used to buy. Okay. And this is the time I even have high consumption. Go and take option 4 of *138 or 139 or whatever. And they will tell you it's on promotion. Look, you can use it for 2 seconds. Okay. And so for me, I would plead that whatever it is, if they are going to engage in it, they should try as much as possible to engage some of the intellectuals. And those intellectuals, of course, when it comes to digitalization, we can get them from the side of NPP. Okay. I don't want them to swim into only the NDC where they will mess up the whole thing.
So from the submission you just made, if I get you right, what you are trying to say is that looking at the people that have been given the appointments, they don't have a fair knowledge of the ministry they are entering into. Is that what you are saying?
Some of them.
So looking at someone like Sam George doesn't have a fair knowledge of what his ministry comprises of for him to,
if you do, why
fit into that office.
Of course, if you do, why has he not been able to produce anything meaningful? We are expecting more from him.
What are you expecting from him?
At least data reductions.
He has done that.
I am saying, tell me what is
he said he's not seeing it.
I am not
so
seeing
please,
it. I am
let's
also
leave
using
it.
the SIM card. I am not seeing it. Data reduction, DSTV, and so on and so forth.
Like what?
The DSTV we will still watch. What is your subscriptions today?
Yeah, I get you, but what else again do you expect apart from the data reduction and then all of that? What else again do you expect some judge to deliver that he's not delivering?
I think the digitalization system is also something like he has to position himself to make sure it is running smoothly in this country. Yes, today systems are down. There's no system for this, system for that. I mean, sometimes they have to cry that payment of allowances, the system has sat down.
What has the system has to do with allowances?
No. The reason they were saying they didn't pay the allowances was because
the system
was down.
Okay.
Right. So am I not right in saying that? I think I'm very right here.
Yeah, right. We'll take it like that. Miss Christopher, is there anything you want to add up to what he just said? He said he didn't feel the data reduction.
So with that, probably maybe it depends on the options he's buying.
Okay. So yeah. I would love to know the options you will be giving me. I'm ready.
And yeah, if you're buying 3 cedi, and then
you'll not see
you'll not see
you not feel the reduction.
I use the 3 cedis because I go for MTN best deals.
Okay.
You understand? On any of the media. I use the 3 cedis because that is what a common man on the street can afford.
Okay.
Do you understand? And you know me, I'm behaving like an MPP member and at the same time behaving like someone who is communicating for the common man on the street. I know where I'm coming from.
Oh, that's
so
fine.
For a common man on the street, right? There are certain things you use your data for that he wouldn't do. You get it? Yes. So based on your consumption, you buy what actually fits your consumption.
Right.
You get it?
Nti all the data and be news, fashion news, me fa TikTok.
Thank you.
Who we are now because auto data says asa. Meanwhile, you didn't use it for the intended purpose you wanted to use it for.
I do. Wow.
You get
it? Talking about. I find this funny.
Right.
Saying that government appointees are not fit enough for their offices.
Which we shall come to that as a full topic.
Yeah, but I want to say something.
Right.
You used Honorable Sam George as an example. And you did mention of his deputy.
His deputy.
You are saying his deputy is quiet. But here lies the case.
You haven't heard of him.
Here lies the case. You did mention earlier that Honorable is loud. He's not yielding any results. But then I can tell you for a fact that he isn't being loud. He's just being vocal. And he's giving results. You did mention of digitization. Have you heard of the 1 million coders? Do you know it has been enrolled?
It has been enrolled. What is the impact of it? It's something
Do
you should not even mention.
My dear, if you are not on the grounds, you will never know the influence that is happening on the ground. You will not sit by the sides and then make speculations. Look at things from the real Ghanaian point of view. Okay?
Right.
The fact that I belong to NDC or NPP doesn't mean that when things are actually going well, I will sit and be like, Nkoye, because it is not my party in power. But besides, let's remember that the president is not the president for NDC. He is not the president for just NPP, but for Ghana as a whole. The same thing applies to all government appointees. So, my dear, if anything should go wrong in that sector, it would affect you, it would affect me. If it is going on well too, it's going to affect you and affect me at the same time. So if it is affecting me, it is affecting her, and you claim it is not affecting you, then you have a problem.
1 million coders policy and program was one of the emptied program or policy enrolled by this NDC, and I think they have the opportunity of reversing it. They would have done that. It has been launched, right? What is the impact? It is still redundant. We are not seeing any impact. Something that the deputy minister appointed could not even define. He didn't even know what he was coming to do. When he was asked to define code, what is coder or whatever, he couldn't, right?
Can you also define coding?
My take on this.
Answer your question.
I am not.
No, don't run.
If I'm into government, I don't think the government will appoint me there because that's not my field. My field of study is not in the IT field. You understand? But probably I can also just do what he did as a deputy, in fact, a high-ranking member to the ministry. He could not define something. You are pushing him there. I was thinking they would revoke his appointment, but they say, "Hey,
my dear,
no, I'm coming." So the code
for him not being able to define coding doesn't mean that he is fit for the office.
What is vetting you are supposed to be arranged before vetting.
No,
for the panel, for the panel to validate and see whether you have the requisite mental magnitude in taking the position you have been charged to go and take. Right. Some of the basic things should have been things that should be controlled by him in attempt to vocalize for it. But that notwithstanding, like I said earlier on, I don't want us to go into that when we have fresh and meaningful topics to attend to. 1 million coders program is one of the programs that if NDC has a chance of making promises or a promise to Ghana or Ghanaian people, they will reverse it.
It's a big no.
Right. Yeah. We'll get into that some other time. Right. It's getting interesting right here in the studio. You can also send in your comments. We are streaming live on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio and on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Send in your comments. Let's get interactive. Right. So let's dive into our major discussions for this morning. For our first topic, that is coming from Naimos. Okay. Interference by chiefs, politicians, undermining Galamsey fight. So the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has raised fresh concerns over escalating influence or interference from some chiefs and political actors in the ongoing fight against illegal mining, describing the trend as a major obstacle to protecting Ghana's natural resources. So according to the field's reports from recent operations in the eastern, Asante and western regions, task force officers says efforts to clamp down on illegal mining have repeatedly been frustrated by individuals wielding political influence or traditional authorities. So the NIMOS official disclosed that in several instances, illegal miners arrested during raids were released after calls from influential persons demanding their discharge. In other cases, excavators immobilized by the task force were later moved off-site under questionable circumstances, allegedly with support from some people linked to local power structures. So that is coming from NIMOS, the task force that have been put in place by the current administration to fight Galamsey. And these are some of the difficulties they are facing on grounds. They raid places, they seize excavators, they arrest some people, and then just a phone call, yo, release this person, and then off, the person is gone. Do you think we are really ready to fight this Galamsey, even if the people that have been tasked to go on grounds to make sure that they eradicate these problems are facing problems just because of some politicians, chiefs, and some influential people? Are we really ready for the tax? And what can we do to stop these interferences? Let me hear from you, Ms. Christabel.
Thank you very much. So we all know that illegal mining has been one of Ghana's biggest environmental challenges, threatening our water bodies, our farmlands,
as well,
our forest reserves gradually depleting, and our public health as a whole. But then, if we have institutions like NIMOS, Blue Water Guard, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, trying their best to put an end to Galamsey, and they are facing obstacles, that is interference from people in higher positions and chiefs who are custodians of our lands, then we have a big problem as a nation. I am not going to argue this out as a party member. No, I am a concerned citizen. Basically because these interference happen over the last few years. Galamsey has been in existence for so long. But over the last few years, we've seen how rapidly its effects has just shot up. And that's why you are seeing our water bodies being brown and the rest. But if NIMOS has come to raid illegal mining sites, arrest people involved in this with their instruments and apparatus for all these things, and people are interfering with their activities, then they are evil. I say evil in this sense that you do not have the nation at heart. Whether you belong to party A, B, C, or D, when your water is polluted and your air you breathe around you is contaminated, I do not think before the air visits your nostrils or the water gets to your lips for you to drink, it will ask you, do you belong to NDC, NPP, or CPP?
Right.
Depending on what you belong to, I will give you the cleanest source to drink from. It doesn't work that way. So I understand these interference happen because the chiefs in questions are the ones who in certain areas own these lands.
Yes.
They give out the lands for sale and many more.
Yeah.
They tend to meddle in these affairs because we know of rural areas have a lot of social amenity problems that they face. Basically because lack of maybe potable drinking water, good hospitals, roads, business opportunities in their environment. They tend to seek help from government, and when government doesn't respond in time, there are middlemen such as businessmen, foreign investors who tend to help them. And you know, in our local language, I say obi or papa no ready with them. I say so because after these people have stepped into their situations and provided them with the necessary amenities they seek, they tend to see them as heroes. And we shouldn't forget that there are wolves among the sheep. Somebody can come to you to help you, but then the ulterior motive behind his actions is very diabolic. After helping, assuming you are a chief, and I've helped you with your necessary things you want, and I come back to you and I tell you, I have seen this land here and I've realized the land has gold in there. I want to buy it. One, when people are given huge sums of money for something that they don't even really value like that, the mind automatically switches up. Yeah. The mind switches up. Just, hey, I'm getting this amount of money for this land. Yet, the person has, let's take this into consideration. The person has already provided you with the necessary things you need. In turn, what can I do to help you? Fine, he says he wants this land. I'm going to give it to him. He can use it for whatever he wants to do. You cannot question what at all he's going to use the land for at that point in time. Because
but
you
don't
feel
you think
say,
that is what the chief should be doing?
yes, that's the right thing they should do.
Yes.
But because they feel like, just like they say, on such an you cannot really have that effortry to ask him that this, how are you going to mine here? What are the methods you are using? Is it going to affect my environment and the rest? They cannot have that vim to ask. But under normal circumstances, you are supposed to ask.
You are supposed to ask.
Regardless.
Question the person.
Yes, regardless whether the land belongs to you, whether it has been paid you free, gave it freely, whatever, you are the custodian of the land. The well-being of the people is in your hands. So if you lease these lands out and you don't even tend to look at whatever is happening in there, then you're putting your people at risk. And for politicians who tend to meddle in the affairs of these Daimos operations, woe unto you. A big shame unto you. Basically because you were voted into power, or you have that position you are today because citizens decided to put you there. You are there to serve, not for citizens to serve you. And we know the fight against Ghana, I'm saying it's not just about raiding illegal mining sites, but it's about the cognitive efforts of every Ghanaian, from the ordinary Ghanaian to the top, even to traditional leaders as well. If we know times are hard, lack of jobs, and people tend to, the ordinary Ghanaian tend to illegal mining because he feels that's the only option available. We have young people who are into this. They know it's not good, but because of their daily livelihoods, they want to do this. And I believe government is stopping this these operations because they have a better plan for the nation. So we should give them the benefits of the doubt. Allow NIMOs, Blue Water Guards, and the rest to actually deliver their duties without interference. We should look at our generations to come. What are they going to depend on? As a nation, what can we even brag on about? Basically, because of what we will get today, what we want to amass in our pockets today, we will destroy all the resources God has given us. And so far as I know, God will not come back to earth to say that I am recreating everything. It will never happen. It is up to us to protect what we have. So then, if we are interfering with these activities, then we are causing ourselves harm. A big harm. And to the ordinary Ghanaian, you say but that is why government is putting in efforts, policies into implementations to create good jobs, better opportunities that you can venture in without even harming yourself. Today we can even say that our health is at risk. Basically because the water we drink is poison, which will lead to a lot of liver problems, cancer, and name it all. And I believe that the incident happened at Shidim, the one at Botoso in the Ashanti region, Shidim, that is Brongahafo, and other incidents that has happened. You could see that these people are really backed by big men in power, and it is so wrong. Over the years, it is in this year that I've heard that mobs are actually attacking police stations because of the kind of people backing them. And that is totally wrong. And I believe the president of the nation, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has better plans for the country. He is... Why are you laughing? He is up to the task. He is ready and willing to take on anybody who interferes with the fight against Galamsey, because this is a national crisis. It is not a party. It's not a party problem. It is a national crisis. So to him, I know that the rule of law will be well implemented in this. Nobody is above the law.
Nobody.
Whether you are a big man or not, when you are caught, you'll be dealt with. And we've heard of investigations ongoing. And this means that His Excellency is up to the task. He's ready to end Galamsey. Back in the years, 8 years ago, and even recently, last year, when people were being arrested for demonstrating because of our water bodies turning brown. And what did the previous government do? Nothing. But then, we have seen that this is national crisis. So we have to deal with it as it is.
Right. Thank you, Miss Christabel. Mr. Emmanuel Chambers, I see you laughing, giggling, smiling.
You know, all along I was smiling because I quietly listened to her, and I can see that things have become so hard for the NDC communicators to defend. Don't worry, you have not even moved to the midfield.
I think from the beginning she mentioned that.
I'm coming. And I love her submission because she clearly stated that she wants to move from the political.
Of course.
She wants to move from political lines to a clear land where she would have to join us make
so she was objective in her submission.
Because from the looks of things, we can't treat Galamsey as a political issue. It is of national crisis.
Right.
My take on what the deputy director of NIMO said, to me, I think, you see, we are the cause of our own problems in this country. I will never sit here and blame any chief anywhere for promoting Galamsey or interfering in an attempt to fight against Galamsey. No chief is involved.
Why wouldn't you blame them?
Very well.
Because they sell out the land.
The chiefs we see are never above the law in this country.
No, they are
no
not.
Chief is above the law. The government can put a system in place to ensure that no chief interfere in the NIMOs. You know, the chief selling the land to someone is not our matter. It doesn't matter much to us. what matters to us as Ghanaians is for the government to deploy military to the zones to make sure that nobody enter to destroy our lands, our water bodies, or whatever. Do you understand? You can go and buy a land from the chief, billions of money. That's not our business. Go and spoil your money. But if you have a very good system, if we have the task force that are ready to do the work, the government have resourced them so well and they are going there to deliver, it doesn't matter whether you have sold the land or whatever. Are you aware that if a chief is misbehaving, they can handcuff the chief like a fugitive? The laws allow that. But because all our democratic principles in this country has been undermined, the rule of law is not down to the earth, that it favors only some group of people in this country. That is why we are bringing chiefs into this matter. And I will make it clear here. The NDC government, John Dramani Mohammed's government, is failing woefully and is failing in their Kentian categorical imperative to find solutions to Galamsey. Recently, the NIMOS told us that fighting against Galamsey now, they have to be fortified, because the Galamseyers are now people who are well fortified in terms of spirits. When they are shooting them, the bullets are not entering them. Unless they even face a group that the soldiers have to run for their lives, saying that, oh, the Galamseyers, they are not dealing with spirit, they are fortified, they were wearing some kind of amulet or whatever, so when you shoot them, it doesn't enter. This is how far they have taken Galamsey.
So should we also go the spiritual way then?
Well, that means that the government must also get some spiritual men to go and fight
Galamsey.
But in all of this, I understand their frustrations, and I understand the government's frustrations. You see, it is cheap to talk when you are in opposition. It is very cheap, and when you listen and go back to play audios and videos that the NDC guys, when opposition put across, and what they told the Ghanaians, we were so gullible in believing them. But I don't blame the Ghanaian children. I don't blame them. We have the current government, some of the officials going to the Galamsey areas, the Vice President of the Republic, Professor Nana Jopokwa, she stood somewhere and told the people that when we come to power, we are going to teach you how to do Galamsey without destroying the water bodies. It was heard by the chiefs. John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, also mentioned that when he becomes the president of Ghana, he is going to grant amnesty to the people who have been arrested.
I watched that video and I thought it was AI.
Oh, it was live. It was not AI. You understand? These are some of the comments they fed the Galamseyers. Now you have won. They gave you a massive one. Do you know that the NPP have to put the government online in an attempt to fight against Galamsey? You understand? So my take on this matter is that the deputy director of operations of NIMOS should be clear to us. It is the politicians that are interfering into the Galamsey fight, and not any chief. If the politicians if the politicians should put themselves in a better way to fight against Galamsey, no chief would dare to interfere in the fight against Galamsey.
Right.
But because they want to hide behind us, because the politicians are hiding behind this Galamsey to score political points, because they are hiding to protect their votes, that is why they are not coming out to fight against Galamsey. That is why any attempt to fight against Galamsey, they are looking for irresponsible steps to also fight against those attempts to fight against Galamsey. Madam, I'm telling you, that is the reality. We're here. One Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado and the callers incited youth to go and attack the same numbers we are talking about today. The people are out there walking freely. Did you see any action? They are members of parliament. They were supposed to make laws to protect the lands and water bodies. Did you see any action? They are part of the ruling government. Did you hear anyone talking about it? No. Did you hear anyone talking about it? It ended there. It ended there. For how long are we going to tolerate this kind of irresponsible and executical behavior from this NDC government? When you have cabinets who can tell the Ghanaian people that ending Galamsey is about a week or two. Sam George, they are out there. It's close to a year now. The activities of Galamsey has been projected as tripled. They promised us they were going to create 44 zones of military to stop the activities of Galamsey. What are the 44 zones? What are they?
Right.
What are the people, part of the cabinet today, that are telling us that, or that were telling us that they can stop the activities of Galamsey within a week? What are the people who were going to the Galamsey areas and fetching water, some George and Co, Ablakwa, displaying them on TV stations, saying that when they come to power, we are going to protect our water body for us? They are the same people who are hiding behind us, buying gold from the Galamsey. See, when you know this is a thief, and the thief has brought something to you, and you buy that thing directly from that thief, whatever you have bought or whatever you have bought, when at the end of the day it is found out that the thief has stolen the items you bought, you are seen, you the buyer is seen as a thief, right. Isn't it?
Okay.
My suggestion to this matter is that if the government is willing to fight against Galamsey, the time is now. We are suffering. The time is now. They must act. If they are not willing to fight against Galamsey, they should make it legalized. They should not be protecting the NDC people engaging in Galamsey and fighting the NPP or the ordinary Ghanaians who are seen on the street. The amnesty is going to be granted. Why is he running away from it? The NDC, lastly, the NDC government is an inefficient and untrusted government we can ever have in terms of fight Galamsey, and they can never solve the issue of Galamsey. The issue of Galamsey can only be solved when NPP succeed in coming back to power 2028, which inshallah I know that is going to happen.
Yo, amen. Miss Christopher, I see you wanted to say something.
I'm perplexed by his submissions. What he's saying, that the NDC, his last statement that the NDC has failed in fighting Galamsey.
Yeah.
My dear, if you check your findings, in the last 4 years, what happened to our river bodies? What happened in the states? Even to the point that citizens could not even demonstrate freely about Galamsey coming to an end. They were being arrested. But then, I don't think even during His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa's period, there were institutions like NIMOS and the rest at.
So many of them. You help her with it. So many institutions.
I'm coming on. I'm not done. Institutions like NIMOS being very, very effective. During their era, these institutions like forestry, EPN, they were not strengthened. They were very weak. They were very weak. That's why we are facing such interference today. If they were strengthened over the last few years, we will not be where we are today. Do you get it?
Right.
You are talking about being fortified, given the necessary resources. And the NDC is doing that. Why should I even be saying the NDC? The government of the day is doing that, providing them with the necessary adequate training they need. It's not all about speaking the big English to confuse viewers and listeners at home, but it's about hitting the nail on its head.
My dear sister, ask her who created NIMOS. NIMOS was established by Nana Addo Dankwa father. Are you aware? NIMOS. The NIMOS we are speaking about. That was our initiatives. The people that during our time they didn't see Galamsey as being spiritually strong. Today they are not seen as spiritually strong people. Hey, come on.
But life is spiritual. They've always been spiritually strong since. I don't think you being here, you don't have a spiritual backing. You do. I do.
If you shoot me to enter.
And we are not talking about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can the government of the day do in handling these chiefs and politicians who are hindering the NIMOS from, fighting Galamsey? What do you think the government can put in place to make sure they handle these chiefs?
Can I come in?
All right.
The best the government can do to cap the interference of
the politicians
and the chiefs is one. The government must withdraw their interest in Galamsey. They must not use Galamsey as a source of income for their families. That is the one thing. Two, all the institutions, the NIMOS, they are crying and they are saying that they want resources. They want to resource themselves and go back for the attack. The government should not spend millions and billions of US dollars on private jets, on whatsoever, in leaving the 9 mosques. They have to be resourced. The government must resource them and make sure that they go back to the grounds to execute and bring perpetrators of galamseyers to book. And as for the chief, one thing we can do, the chiefs must understand that the fight of galamsey involves all of us. Even though the government has to take it as a bold step, but every chief, you should be ashamed that you are a chief and your people cannot get access to potable water. You are a chief and your lands are destroyed and you are watching it and you are happy. What money are you looking for when you don't value humanity? You understand? As for the chief, it's easy. Once the government puts beautiful initiatives in place and they are ready to enforce the laws, no chief will dare to stand up and say that I am a chief, I can interfere in the fight against galamsey. Chiefs don't have problem at all. Chiefs don't have problem at all. It is the government. NDC government for that matter.
Emphasis on NDC. Miss Christopher, what can you say? What can the government do to?
I think with his submissions, he has mentioned
a lot of it.
But then I would say that he is laying emphasis on the NDC government. And I can say to you that the NDC government is up and willing to fight and end galamsey, looking at how things have run down the line for the past few months. Yes. But then to help curb galamsey, we should look at the root causes.
The root causes.
Yes.
What are some of the root causes?
Lack of daily livelihood.
Employment.
You get it?
Yes.
And that's one of them. And many others. We can see that since there was a time that people are fully employed and they get laid off at work, they tend to go back to their villages and be like, me go to galamsey and yeska. Because they want to feed their families.
Yes.
And with this, in the cost of feeding your family, I don't think you would want to hurt yourself in the long run.
Yeah, in the long run.
We have to, as a government, the government has to put things in place to curb these little issues, to solve these little issues. Because it starts from 1 to 100.
To the other.
Yes. These people don't have the money to go and buy excavators. But when the big men buy the excavators, they'll help them mine illegally to destroy our water bodies. At the end of the day, the money is what they want. And I believe Mahama's government has put in a lot of policies into implementations to help solve the issues of unemployment. If you look at the apprenticeship program, resourcing people with the necessary skills they need to actually make a daily livelihood is the most important thing. All of us cannot be in the government sectors and public sectors working. Assuming all of us are in the offices, what will hawk pure water on the streets for us to buy? We shouldn't see those hawking on the streets that they are poor or whatever. We need them, they need us. That is another way of making money, right? If the capital doesn't make tables, you wouldn't have a table to put these instruments on. So when I talk of the apprenticeship program, it is one of the major ways to equip youths of today and even adults with the necessary skills they need to make a living for themselves without relying solely on government. And also strengthening of these institutions who are in the position to end galamsey, that of the Forestry Commission, EPA, Mineral Commission, the Ministry of Lands, and I know all these fall under the ministry. We know that when they are given the necessary logistics, the necessary training they need, they will do well. And lastly, to the mere Ghanaian, ordinary Ghanaian, don't think about just today. What you eat today, just today, can be secured based on how you go about your thing. But when you spoil everything around you today, what will you use for tomorrow? Your kids to come, what would they do?
What would they eat?
Even with our health, cancer, a lot of issues that even just erupts from the waters and food crops we eat today. Most of our crops in the market, if they should go under the microscope,
yeah,
the kind of elements we will find in there will even blow our minds. They are not supposed to be there. But because of what is going on in that farming area, they tend to absorb these chemicals and we end up poisoning ourselves in our homes. So end galamsey starts from the mere citizen to the people in higher office. It is out of our cognitive reason. If we set our minds right and we are willing to do the right thing, galamsey will end very quickly. It has to do with a bit of morality, if I should say. Because if your conscience is actually speaking to you, you do the right thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for that beautiful submission. On that note, let's move on to our next topic. So, this has been an issue that has to do with doctor posting. Has been an issue even with teachers, but right now let's focus on the doctors since that is the topic for the day. So doctor posting policy faces setbacks as majority decline rural placements. So Ghana's plan to improve healthcare delivery in undeserved areas has hit a major hurdle as a large number of newly trained doctors have reportedly declined postings to rural districts under the Ministry of Health placement policy. So the posting system, which assigns medical officers to public health facilities across the country, is designed to bridge the urban-rural doctor distribution gap. However, reports indicate that many doctors prefer urban posting due to better working conditions, infrastructure, equipment availability, and opportunities for career growth and specialization. So sources with the Ghana Medical Association notes that young doctors often decline rural posting due to lack of accommodation, delayed salary payment, limited medical equipment, poor road networks, and unattractive working incentives. So some doctors argue that relocating to remote areas is financially burdensome and professional development opportunities are very, 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 very limited. Imagine you are in Accra, you have studied, and then they will go and post you some. I don't want to mention any region before they come from my head.
It is already mentioned in there. It is already mentioned in there.
Imagine they go and post you somewhere.
Northern region.
I wouldn't please so.
No, but those who are failing to go is in the northern region. That is the content. You understand?
Okay.
That's the content.
He said northern region.
No, that's
so
the
nobody
content.
should come for me.
Of course.
So imagine you are being posted to northern region. The roads there are bad. You get to the hospital, the equipment that you're supposed to work with, bobo, salary emba, maybe they'll go and say system failure, the network is bad, and so on and so forth. Chambers. If was you, will you go? Even if the pay is higher.
I think in all of this, the doctors failing to report to the northern part of Ghana, saying that the salaries,
accommodation, availability of equipment and all salary delays and all of that.
I think it's unfortunate.
Very.
Why am I saying so? You see, as a doctor and as a profession like a doctor, you are supposed to save lives. That is one thing. You see, Ghana, before we choose a program now, we have decided, or we will calculate the amount of money we are going to make from it before going into the profession, and that is bad for the nation. A doctor is supposed to save life, and that is the reason you have gone to school to study it. The doctors who are saying that they wouldn't go to the northern part of Ghana, or because there's poor network, poor roads, whatever they claim it could be, I think it's unfortunate. Some of them, surprisingly, some of them are even from the northern part of Ghana.
Yeah, the doctors themselves.
The doctors,
and they don't want to stay in there.
They don't even want to go back to northern part of Ghana and stay. You see, we have to move. Life in such a way that today, you have seen yourself better than others. You have described those people as villagers. You never can tell who they will be and how they will be of help to you tomorrow. If the doctors are not employed, if they are not employed by government, they shout. When they are employed, they don't want to choose where they want to go. Some way or one way or the other, I will blame the doctors for not reporting. They are supposed to be at work. They are supposed to discharge their duties.
Why the doctors and not the governments? Because
I'm coming. I have two ways to come into this matter. Okay. But blaming the doctors, whatever it is, there are people I know. Some of the teachers, they post them to areas where there's no lights, there's no school, and children are under trees. But yes, some teachers will still go there and teach. There are nurses I know, they post them to some communities. There's not even a building at all to show that this is a community. But because see, sometimes because of government policy, they will establish something like the chick compound or whatever. They have not even finished building it. But some nurses are there taking care of the people. Are they not human beings?
They are.
Those people at the rural areas, they have asked the doctors to go and take care of them or treat them or render services to them. Are they not human beings?
They are.
So how far are we going to play football or play, matches with life? Life is so short that sometimes we need to all remain humanitarian people to humanity as well. The way we go by things, it looks as if we care about ourselves and not the people. We care about ourselves and not the program we have studied. If you have studied to become a doctor and now they are asking you to go and discharge the knowledge you have learned, they are asking you to go and save lives, and you are saying you are not going, I don't think that is best. And to come to the government, I don't think any teacher, any doctor posted within Accra will refuse. Why? Because Accra is well developed. You understand? Accra is well developed. The government, all governments, I don't want to say NDC government, but particularly governments have always concentrated in Accra and some other areas like in Kumasi. They always invest into these cities, forgetting that there are some areas that needs to be developed. When you go to the northern part of Ghana and see what people are going through, I tell you that you feel pain. When you get to Saboba today, there's no district hospital. Basa today, there's no district hospital. When you go to a place like Chamba, it's too big enough to have a hospital. There's no hospital there. When you go to Zabsgu, even though in Zabsgu we have a district hospital, but I'm telling you, any treatment above malaria and fever, the person is transferred to Tamale. Go to Tamale today, you will see patients on the verandas or whatsoever seeking to access healthcare. Some people even died in Tamale Hospital, or because they just went there to see doctors and they can't even have access to doctors. I'm a victim of it. A brother of mine died because of that. Yes, people go to people go to seek for healthcare in Tamale, DTH, and some of them died because doctors are not available to attend to them. These are things you go through in the northern region. And so if you are a doctor who cares about people and you are posted there and you say you are not going based on some of these system failure or some of the unfavorable conditions, I will not blame you much, but I will blame the government. If the government should transform and equip Zabsgu Hospital or some other hospitals in the northern part of Ghana and build accommodations for doctors attached to the hospitals. Today you post a doctor to those hospitals where there's already made accommodation, already constructed accommodation, good one of course. The hospital is well equipped and the doctor says he's not going there. Who is he as a doctor? You can just forget him. There are a lot of doctors out there who are seeking for jobs. You bring them. Don't you have doctors who are here and then of course they want employment and they don't get. You understand? If they're saying we should improve their conditions of services, I am not fighting against that. They can improve it. But the government must make sure that they now shift their attention to the northern part of Ghana. We pay taxes. I'm a northerner. We pay taxes. What is the use of our taxes? If you go to northern part of Ghana, who is the president today is also from northern part of Ghana. I am not seeing any development in the northern part of Ghana. I am not seeing it. I am not completely seeing it. What is it in the northern region we can boast of? Tamale Town, when you go and see the traffic, only one overhead MPP did well by saving us or giving it to us. People were dying. And today, that one road is not even enough for us. John Dramani Mahama and his appointees will come and promise us. Honorable Lawyer Haruna, who, they are part of the cabinet. What are they doing to serve the northern part of Ghana? But then, if we have to talk about it, people will say, oh, you've been very tribalistic or whatever. No. But this is where some people who are doctors are saying they are not going to northern part of Ghana. And I'm sure those who are posted within Accra and Kumasi, they have already gone and they are discharging services. So we need them. They have to reverse their mind. And the government, Minta Akano, or what's the name? Akando, must make sure he engage so well with these doctors. And provide them the necessary support and allow them to go. If they provide them the necessary support and they are failing to go, no doctor is above the law. We can find a way of looking into it. If probably they can face sanctions. You understand? They can. We don't have to just allow individuals to do whatever will please them at the end of the day. When we are using our monies in paying them, people are paying taxes. Go and serve them and say you won't go. Government, you are concentrating in Accra and some other big cities, leaving northern part of Ghana, and the place is not developed. How would people go there? Oh.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chambers. Let me hear from you, Ms. Christabel.
I'm glad he's arguing this as a concerned citizen.
Yeah.
For the issue at hand now, it has been in existence for almost more than 15 years now. And that's not the first time the nation is facing such a problem. We can say that the doctors are responding to real life situations. Basically because looking at the educational background, most of them are from middle class or elite families. Just few of them come from
the
rural areas, or should I say even poor backgrounds. And at the end of the day, they tend to school in this big universities. They are open to a very comfortable life. So for them to just adapt to new environments, we understand it's not easy. We are not in denial of their challenges they are facing. But looking at equality and equity, everybody deserves a good health care. And when it comes to health care, it is one of the most important things a nation should look at. Because when you have people in the country and they are well, they tend to also put in work for you to generate good income, and your GDP and the rest shoots up. Yes. So with the issue concerning doctors and the posting to rural areas, just as I mentioned, looking at equity and equality, taking the person to the rural area where there is, just like you mentioned, when there is no instruments or logistics available for him to work with. That is not teaching. Teaching has to do with oral and maybe when it comes to a point you do small practicals. But that's the practical field of work. Taking a person to the rural area and not providing the person with the necessary equipment needed, then what's the point of taking the person there in the first place? And I believe government is putting structures in place to look at all these things to provide equity in health. Because when we talk about just equality and you take out equity, then we are not doing anything right. You are supposed to provide these people with the equal necessary resources for them to also work. And we should understand that these people are moving from their comfort zones to a very uncomfortable area. He did mention that people choose courses they want to read because of the money involved. Yes. The money involved, let's understand that these people spend more than 7 years in school. Just to gain that money. And at the end of the day, they have families to look at. They are moving to these rural areas. Some of them might go with their family. And they are looking at their children's well-being too as well. So if they are declining this, we understand. But I feel like for you to choose a career does not necessarily mean has to do with the money, but the passion involved. Because this is health and it's a crucial area to look at. without the passion, then you being a doctor, I think you are going to kill most of us. Most of us are going to die, because when your fellow human being is in pain, you do not understand, or you don't have that compassion to move with urgency. So with the doctors at home, we will plead with them. They should honor their postings. And I believe government will put initiatives in place in terms of accommodation, with the incentive aspect. Very soon they would see the necessary changes they want to see. Because we understand that this problem is still in existence, because over the last few years, we've not really paid attention to these rural areas. People were given the luxury to be put in the urban areas and neglect the rural areas. But we should understand that Ghana is not just an urban country.
Right.
It is not just focused on Accra and Kumasi. We should remember of the deep villages in there. There are people also there who need good services in order to live. So health is very important.
Health is very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you think the government can put in place to make such areas more attractive, that even when the posting come, they are running helter-skelter to, pack their luggage and then go to those places to perform their duties?
In terms of infrastructure,
right,
they should equip them with the necessary buildings, logistics needed to go about their duties. Just like I said, it's a practical field. If I come to the hospital and there are just stethoscopes that are working, and even the machines to check my vitals are not working, how are you going to go through just the manual way? Gone are the days where we used to use our folders, but now due to digitization, you can use your laptops, input the data of the patients and things. They all need those things to literally go about their duties. And secondly, when it comes to incentives, I feel like for the urban community, they have it all.
Right.
They are okay. Even if the doctor doesn't enroll in other part-time hospital jobs, he will still make good money.
Right.
And per what I understand, I know that the average doctor earns maybe close to 5,000 or lesser. I am not really sure, but I know that is the range for
Right. Mr. Chambers, what can you add up to what the government can do to make those places more attractive?
I think I've already suggested that.
Yeah.
First of all, those people are really Ghanaians. In fact, Northerners are really Ghanaians, and they pay taxes.
Yes.
The government must develop their hospitals. Government must make sure that they build, well-finished accommodation attached to the hospitals, so that when the doctors or whoever is posted to the area, the person wouldn't have any excuse. You understand? And I believe that for us to develop as a country, it will begin from each and every one of us in this country.
Right.
The doctors must make sure that going to the northern part of Ghana to serve them, they are also human beings, and that, of course, the people there need their services. And they have studied to go and render services to people. Once that comes to their mind, the remaining number in the house will join the few that have already gone. Lens about 302 declined or have not reported. It means just a few number.
Just a few number, and it's quite very low.
Very worrying.
You see, they are also doctors. Whether you are Dr. B, whatever, they are also doctors. So once they have gone to serve the people, we will encourage that those in the house should also go. Whatever it is, people are there and they are managing that condition. Let's manage. And you are newly posted. So since you are newly posted, you have to endure. So you expect them to remove someone who is already all in the system, your senior in city, to go to the village. For all you know, maybe that person began there before they brought the person to the city.
Right.
And also to add up to his submission,
right,
I think that once they are posted there, government should not just leave them.
Yeah.
Engage with the doctors, know the problems they are facing and how you can intervene.
Yes.
Because once they are working and they are not in good frame of mind to deliver, we are going to face a lot of catastrophes.
Yeah.
So I feel like directors in those zones should build that connection with the doctors. Have a day in and day out supervision. Supervise their works. Talk to them. Let them feel that they are very important, crucial people to the state. Because remember, during COVID era, they were part of essential workers. Without them, we can only imagine how the state would have been. So we should treat them as national assets. Taking them there is not easy. But for them to also be comfortable, we should develop those areas as well. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Let's look at our last topic briefly, then we call it a day. This is actually coming from the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin. He actually wrote a letter to the president. Right. So the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, is calling on President John Dramani Mahama to take control of his government and prioritize development over politics of revenge. He says certain groups, what he calls hawks, are driving decisions that are not in Ghana's interests. So Afenyo-Markin believes too much time is being spent settling political scores instead of focusing on jobs, growth, and the future. He is urging the president to empower moderators and moderate within the NDC and protect his legacy by choosing development over retaliation. So that is coming from Afenyo-Markin. He wrote a very beautiful letter to the president. I say, our appointees I don't know what he means by the hawk, but let's assume it's just the appointees. I say they came for revenge. Okay, this is what you people did. So we are in power now, so this is what we are going to do. Instead of them focusing on bringing jobs and then doing things to help the Ghanaian people. Mama should do something and protect his legacy. That is what Afenyo is saying. What can you say to that?
For me, I think that call is a call for accountability, and that is a beautiful call by the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin. He has been so consistent on matters, even though the NDC side in Parliament felt and they wanted to look like he's talking too much. And indeed, if you listen to Afenyo-Markin very well, I think he's one of the gentlemen in this country who really want to put Ghana in the right place. And if you listen to all his arguments, he wants the right thing to be done. And perfectly, that is one thing we must know. Afenyo-Markin wants the government appointees to focus on the national progress and not really the political call. This is not a political call. Someone will say that his call is practically politics, or is just want to sabotage the government appointees, but far from it, not at all. I believe that every government must not be afraid of accountability. And if we take into consideration some of the ministries, we can clearly say that his call was the right call, because if you take the Agri Ministry, for instance, a lot of farmers are crying out there. There is a ban on cereal importations, and this time around, as we said, a bowl of maize, yams, and what have you, the market is too poor, and farmers are calling on the government to at least lift the ban on the cereal exportation so that their food can be sent out from the country, and then they could get something small into their pocket. When there are no food in the system, then we can restrict the food, or we can ban food from traveling outside the country. But even if the government is not ready to put or to uplift the ban on food, what the government can also do is to assist these poor farmers. Some people go for loans and invest into farming, and at the end of the day, they don't get anything. You go and take a loan, they are running after you, and someone somewhere who have not even been to the farm is buying it at a free will. So clearly, if you look at the ministry, let's say Agri Ministry, so far the Agri Ministry is not doing the best. And the reason or the fact that the NDC is acting on revenge, it is clear and it is true. Look at the case of Martin Kwebu, where the members of parliament from the NDC side are calling for them to summon the OSP because of the unreasonable arrest of Martin Kwebu, when the same arrest has been conducted in this country and they pay deaf ears to it. But because their very old member was touched, they have to complain. And so the NDC hasn't come back, or they have not come to serve the Ghanaian people. They've only come to revenge. And I don't know what they are revenge on. Look, it is very, very uncooked, very unreasonable for us to continue with this terrain. And that is the terrain that the government is not trying to focus on the promises they made to the good people of this country. They promised us a 24-hour economy, and we have not seen it. They promised us 1 million coders training. It's lunch. We have not seen it. We have not seen it. They've promised us a whole lot. They have promised us to reset the country. The resetting agenda, we don't even know what they are doing. I don't know what they are doing. Today, what is good, the crime that is good for someone is bad for another person. We have also been told that the trials in court, Wintumi's case, we've been told that they have not been able to find clear evidence against him. These are the issues they are battling in court. And I am telling you, the same way they arrested Wintumi was the same way they arrested Martin Kwebu. Why are we behaving in this country as if some individuals are important than the others? Why? So I will not speak much, but I think some of the government appointees, John Dramani Mahamad's appointees, they are failing to achieve the reason they were appointed. Their reason to serve is not met, and they have failed. And they are failing because they are still celebrating the power. And it is long overdue for them to forget it. Some of them are not also concerned of who they would assist or who they will become a running mate to. And some of them are so concerned about, the next government to come. You can look at the case, the issue between the education minister, Honorable Loy Haruna, and Honorable Ablakwa, the foreign affairs minister. When the education minister mentioned that it is not advisable that children must carry long hairs to senior high schools. Foreign affairs minister Ablakwa also went and stood somewhere and said, no, it's not a crime. They should allow them to carry hairs to schools. This attitude from the cabinet is a poor attitude.
I don't see anything wrong because everyone is allowed to.
That is democracy.
That's their opinion.
Listen.
So if this person thinks they should carry.
Listen here. Before a minister of education could go and give and fortify the teachers or headmasters to ensure and enforce that no hair or no student appear in the school with hair, it means that information or that message has been discussed thoroughly by the cabinet. He has no right to just go and stand anywhere and make those declarations. You understand?
Right.
This was an information from the highest hierarchy, and that as a member of a cabinet, which you were privy to the information, you never input, you never had your take on it. You have to go somewhere and also debunk it. That is a conflicting of interest. Come on, it's clear.
Right. Let me hear from you, Ms. Christopher.
So based on what the minority leader
Alexander
is saying with his beautiful letter, it's just a way of the micro minority trying to stay relevant to governments. We acknowledge his criticisms, and that's the beauty of democracy. We thank him for actually calling government to stand on its toes. But the call saying that the party appointees or government appointees are vendettas. They are hawks, just in for the vengeance. That is a clear miscalculation of the whole up and downs in governance. We can all say that for a fact that His Excellency will not appoint based on you're loyal to me or because you did this for me. So he appoints based on merits. And we can say it is on records that each appointee is qualified for the position they occupy.
No.
The likes of the CEO of National Youth, how do you go? Osman Ayariga. He's a lawyer, he's an architect. He has gone through several academic chains. The likes of EPA, Professor Nana Ama Brown Kluche. She is a high-end professor in the University of Ghana who has a background in science. EPA is not fit to be there. It has to do with the environment, right? The likes of Professor Jampo, even the CEO for DVLA. Look at the necessary changes we are seeing in these areas. You can't say that they are not focused on their work. They are actually doing their works. And you as a government, in 8 years, you had the renowned economist as your vice president, who even sat as the chairman for Ghana's economic whatever. What did he do? He led the state straight to shambles. And in a space of 1 year, we can see the wonderful things the financial minister is doing. Even to talk of the foreign affairs, the price of acquisition for passports has reduced drastically from 500 cedis to 350 cedis. We can see changes in our energy sector. When Ghana was handed over to His Excellency, people were shouting that, oh, we are going to see doom-so, because that is his hallmark. But he has proved Ghanaians wrong. How many people have complained of doom-so just in 1 year? Me, back in 8 years, where I live, comes 25. We used to face lights out straight 12 hours.
Oh, yes.
I am not lying.
Oh, I've lived there before. Just behind Trasacco, PS Global.
Come 25. Just imagine. Lights out, day in and day out, every day. So sometimes when you wake up, you prepare for it. You even gauge and know that, oh, this is what you are coming to face for the day. But gradually, we are not seeing such things again. The appointees are working. They are really, really working. And I feel like if you think people are being arrested, basically because they didn't do what they are supposed to do when they were in office. Look at the director for NSS, Madam Gifty. Look at the whole controversies around her time in office. These are many things we can even point out in the NPB's administration. But just in a space of 1 year, you cannot question their efficiency. They've delivered more than we even expected. And we know we are up to the task, and our appointees are merit-based. They are up and willing for the task. They can do it. That is why they are there.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chambers, your last words, please.
My last words?
Yes.
Okay, so let me quickly correct something here before I have some special individuals I want to thank today or greet them.
That's right.
You see, when we talk about the energy sector, I am not saying there's doom-so or there's no doom-so. Even though we still experience some lights out, some dark outs in the country. But if you look at the levy, the energy levy alone, it is enough to keep our lights on. The doom-so levy, the recent levy they just passed, and what they are even trying to do at the water and other sector, it is enough for the NDC to keep the lights on. You are overtasking and you are overcharging the Ghanaians to pay, so you have no reason to keep the lights in dark. You understand? So for me, if you compare the recent levy in energy sector to the NPP, you see that I don't really want to go much there. But I just want to correct it and let my respected colleague understand that the energy sector levy is enough you are overcharging the people, so it is enough to keep the lights on. You have overcharged the people, so it is enough to keep the lights on. That notwithstanding, like I said, all said and done.
Yeah.
Today I want to extend my greetings to the family of MPP in Zabzugu constituency, most especially Honorable John Jababinam, the former member of parliament, who has assisted so well in building the party in the constituency. The constituency executives, they are doing very well in attempts of managing the internal and external affairs of the party in the constituency. The former DC, Honorable Adakwa, and most other people in the family of NPP, I can't mention all their names. I greet them and I say that the party is our party, and we must find a very best way to call for unity within us. The people in Zabzugu constituency need us most, and we have to rise up to save that constituency, because I don't think NEC will be the best option in helping that particular constituency. I also want to extend my greetings to one humanitarian member of parliament, a member of parliament that was directed and called by God to go and lead his people, Honorable Stanley Yaonandaya. That is the MP for Winlinsi constituency.
Right.
This man has been a very good man. He's been in touch with his people, and for a very small space of time, he has been able to pay huge amount of money of students' school fees. He has also been able to organize a free health screening, and he has also been able to organize clean-up exercises. So amazing, and he's really in touch with the people. This is the man that is helping people even outside his constituency and all that. So I would call on his people, the people in Winlinsi constituency that are still engaging in politics. The election is over. They should allow the man to, go on with his parliamentary duties. He's discharging his parliamentary duties very well, so they should allow him to go on, and pray for him as well. He's really doing well, and I can tell them that if they really put their trust in the man, Honorable Stanley Yaonandaya, he's going to develop that constituency for them. So a big shout out to him, and I want to say that wherever he is, we are very proud of him, and we are most grateful for his initiatives. He should keep it up.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel Chambers. Miss Christabel.
So, my last word.
Yes, please.
So, before that,
yeah,
I would want to say something concerning the energy sector levies.
I'll come back.
They are being
no,
used.
you not come back.
I'll come back.
You will not come. They are being used judiciously, and we are seeing the effects. This all rhymes up to the fact that our appointees are doing well.
Right.
In the administration, we saw the COVID levy, e-levy, and at the end of the day, they couldn't even account for what they were used for. Far from that, let me just go straight to my Mahama government. Your president, my president. His administration is people-centered. It is steadfast, built on transparency and accountability. And I want Ghanaians to know that he is not going to let Ghanaians down, even as appointees, because he has already issued a warning statement that any appointee who would want to use their office to manipulate government activities for their personal gains will be dealt with. This shows that the man is ready and willing to take Ghana to where it has to be. He wants to drive us from the pit that is even bigger than the National Cathedral pit to a place where every Ghanaian will be okay.
Will be okay. And
shout out to 10 UG, my boss Amos Abose Blessing, to the Honorable Joseph Tete Akweze, MP of Pong Kantamaso constituency. He's doing a very good job in the constituency, and I want to say kudos to him. Regardless of the agitations, the man is really delivering. Providing fees for students in tertiary, and even gave checks to parents, more than 100, 200 parents who have their kids in SHS, to help them aid their kids' studies. Where again? To every NDC, to every NDC appointee there, MPs, MCEs, everyone is doing a good job, and I believe by the end of our 4 year in office, Ghana is going to see the transformation it has always craved for. And last but not the least, mommy, hi to Rita Badagbo, my lovely mother. Thank you so much for all you do for me.
Oh. Chimes is jealous. All right, thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Thank you to our lovely guests for doing the talking and the beautiful submission they made right here on the show. And thank you to our audience for doing the listening. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.